Pete, 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 Pete. We were right about Pete. That's all that matters.
Yep.
Okay, let's get into this though. I did do like basic shit of like where we were at in the episode at minimum, so that we're not just totally flying blind. Now, everybody remember that we do this for fun. This is not my review. If you want my extensive filmography take.
On this side, I need to point. I don't know where your picture is. This way, that
Wherever
way.
it is, you can go and check those out. And I'll do my full review after I watch this another time or two. But goddamn, this is me and Nicole fun time talk.
Yep.
But
just for the funsies.
I mean, we weren't totally wrong about things. I mean, I feel like we were like that through this whole season, where we were like, we knew Hank was on the take. Connolly didn't come back into play.
The Northern Lights were shot.
Oh, I had to load down. It's like Nicole with her Northern Lights.
The Northern Lights.
Do you like how the date popped up right after that for January 1st? Restart, renew. I was like, okay, there we go. I was shocked it was still New Year's Eve. Oh my, dude, them opening the episode with "You Can Feel It, Can't You?" I was like, holy shit! Is when Navarro saying stuff in the cave when they beefed it.
Oh, I
literally have my notes. I know one claustrophobic shit. That was so unnerving to be when she was getting stuck. I was like, oh, I don't like that.
No, I told Rob, I go, you wouldn't catch me dead in there. This is making me uncomfortable right here.
Really
I don't do tight space. I don't do tents. Would you guys have invited me over to like some of our friends' house, like hang out in the backyard in a tent? Why do you think I have to go in and out? We've done it at like
Flowers.
Yes, I didn't know if we should say names, but yes.
That doesn't count. She's a weirdo about that shit. She goes through her phases.
We'd go in there and like, because I have to go in and out of them. I don't do tents unless it's super big. I can do a big tent, but not if it's small. I don't.
Okay.
I'm weird.
That's
I'm
fair.
weird.
Oh, and by the way, trust your gut is essentially what she's saying off rip. She's like, no, just listen, go with it. And I'm like, this is what I mean. It's not supernatural. It's trusting your intuition.
Yes.
But I literally have in my notes, down goes Frasier. After Joey Foster fell, I was like, God damn, let me wipe this off real quick.
No, I thought she was going to actually get out and go get help because I was like, fuck. Yeah. And then she goes down and I'm like, oh no. And then you see Homeboy over there just like, hey, like creeping.
Being totally weird. No, love that. But no, when they went down and I was like, oh shit, we really are going to find some crazy shit. And I like that we didn't fully find out what they leave it open. They leave it open. So it's like, if we're going to bring Rust back, like we keep saying, nobody ever really leaves Ennis. Then we left a lot of things open enough to do that, but I can see where people would be unhappy with it by going like, yeah, but they didn't say. If they said we're going to do a second season for sure after this one, that would also give away to the audience who's probably going to make it, and they probably didn't want to do that. But also, you don't connect this much and have somebody outright say time is a flat circle without.
I was going to say, it's right there that time is a flat circle and the symbol and everything.
Right.
And then looking up at the lights.
We've never fully gotten what was going on with that. Like, we know this is some crazy shit they believe, and they think that they think they live forever in a gross way, when really that's not the case. And I loved getting that call back with Holden in this, with the female rage outside of the ladies coming in. We'll get to that. But when she turned and said, I am not merciful, I was like, oh, I fucking love this. I fucking love how angry we're getting, because we never get to get angry. We never get to get angry and fight dudes and beat the shit out of Clark and duct tape shit to his head. We never get that. And we're pissed, and we might do that.
You're such a bitch.
Right.
You're such a bitch.
I love that, though. But like I said, in the first season, when Rust Cole says, I can feel my daughter, I can feel my father, like I could just die and go with him. He realizes
I'm shocked you haven't brought up this part yet. The best part is when she goes and finds her beating the shit out of Clark finally. And I'm like, there we go.
It was great. And I was like, no, she's not going to kill him the same way she killed Wheeler, because that's not what our heroes do. She's going to make that choice to go, no, I'll do it by the book this time. But I think she didn't really mind when he walked out onto the ice, but
she
was beating the shit out of him. I love that. I
was like, finally, we get her to beat some ass.
Yeah, it was great. Loved that. But I did like how quick we moved through the science lab. And it was like, no, we're at Salal. And I like that happened in like 5 seconds.
Well, and also it's pretty reasonable that that's there. Like, and I like how they were able to have the cleaning crew figure it out, like with the water dripping and stuff, like sliding under. Like, that's such a good, like, you know what I mean?
I know. I'm happy. We're happy too. We fucking love this. Everybody can get fucked. Anybody unhappy about this, fuck off. Fuck off.
No, it was great.
Ladies fighting back, and it was great. It was awesome.
It was phenomenal.
Love that. Love the sea serpent. Now, was that a drill bit that you stated, or was it a science?
It was a science tool. They say it was something it was something I thought, like,
we understand
it was a drill.
We kept looking at the dudes in town with their rage towards the indigenous women, but it's like, no, they were working for so long that they were so pissed. You piece of shit.
They just want their paycheck.
Shit. I don't use Messenger. Stop it. Stop contacting me on there. Oh yeah. So I have Science Lab Carcosa. Just knowing that symbol comes from something way back in the day.
Yes.
And how long it adds that mystery that True Detective does so well. Like I was saying with the spirit realm, like it's all, from opening of season 1, antlers on a head, ritualistic killing, doesn't scream we believe in something out there.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, everything with Rust Cole happens. So we know that's a part of this. But having it be some old thing that probably was taken out of context and grossly used by these turds is a thing. And I really like that. And I didn't mind them not going into detail about it because I don't think anybody really knows. I think this is just something that's been passed down through the gross generations and the good ones as a thing.
Exactly.
You know? But nobody really knows the reason about it. I in my notes, I have put some goddamn shoes on. The amount of not shoe wearing in these caves.
They act like it's not that cold.
Well, I guess you were popping back into Salal and living there the whole time, right?
But still, like, it's 30 degrees out. I'm not walking out here barefoot. And
no, well, then I thought it's a vision. Like she'd gotten the dredge. But then I was like, either way, put some goddamn shoes on.
Put some shoes on.
That's one of my major rules. And never look like you're lost. Because if you look like you're lost, somebody might hone in on that weakness. So always look like you know exactly where you're fucking going, no matter if you're...
Never respond either if someone's like, hey, in a dark alley.
Never lose your shoes. Yeah. You never lose your shoes. In theory, you can always walk home. So never lose your shoes.
True.
It'll make the walk home way worse. Oh, the tension building in this. I thought when they were going through Salal at first, the way Twist and Shout was playing all nasty.
Oh, I was like, again.
But when it turned off.
Clark's favorite song?
What?
What?
Mom was yelling at me. Sorry, I'm putting this out.
I'm like, is it Clark's favorite song? Like, why is it?
No, I think Twist and Shout was attached to Holden, and I think that
I
was like a thing with Danvers.
Why? It just also seems like Clark's playing it nonstop.
Well, I think he was trying to send them signs. I don't know.
True.
I don't know. I don't know why you keep picking the Ferris Bueller clip, but anyway,
yeah, I don't get that.
Oh, like we were saying, we might not have gotten a flood, but water represents like rebirth and renew and starting over. Pete taking a shower, cleaning up all the blood.
Yeah.
Him and Leah are great, like siblings. And she's
I knew she was going to come in. I knew it.
When she calls him out for basic shit, because that's some shit you'd call me on. You'd be like, why are you cleaning hardcore? Like,
I mean, you don't, like, you're not, I'm a cleaner. If I came over and was cleaning, everyone would be like, this is on point. Nicole doesn't stop.
Yes, if Abby's doing that, you're a mess.
But that's not, like you or Erica, I'd be like,
what are you doing here?
Are you guys sick?
It's seen through the bullshit. It's going, I know you better than this.
Something's wrong.
Yeah, where she immediately goes. Right. They nailed it. Yeah, right? And they had to leave the base story alive. Tuttle spiraled to carry forward. Exactly. And I think we're all really hoping we get that. I'm like, we better get that. But
no, I think they did a great job. They ended it phenomenally. The only thing they didn't tell us was Rose, which is the only part where I'm a little upset.
Not a bad guy. Rose, not a bad guy. Crazy.
Rose is not a bad guy, but she's done this before. When she's like, I need to like puncture the lungs and all this stuff. I'm like,
well, she did that with the wolf.
She's a fucking G,
no,
but still,
she's awesome. But I was like, no,
still, like she wasn't throwing that wolf down into the water to know that. She just was gutting it like for meat.
But I think showing her doing that means like I understand this. But I said the same exact thing where I was like, you've done this a lot.
Yeah, I was like, you're like G.
That line she had with Pete of like, that's what I said this either in the comments or somewhere else where somebody's like, why is she the one to pour the ashes in, and why does Rose? And I was like, because you bury your own. It's like Harry Potter with Dobby. Like that's without magic. I'm gonna bury the elf. It's like,
well, yeah, like I mean, in the South, usually, like at least, like I know, they like to dig their own, like the own hole and stuff, or like bury it. Like they wouldn't like at my aunt's.
No, you bury your own.
That's my aunt's uncles, like they were like, no, we will not let this equipment bury him. Even though, like, they're like, no, we will hand bury it. And I was like, right. I didn't know that. In my family, they more about cremation, so like, it's a little different.
Even if you don't fully dig a grave now, that's why they have like you can throw some dirt in because you bury your own. And so when she's like, no, I'll do all this shit, but you got to put your dad up. That conversation they have, I started tearing up. I'm not gonna lie when she says, "You thought that was the hard part." No, this shit after it's coming next is the worst, and it's like that could apply to covering it up, or that could apply to just saying goodbye.
And also the PTSD you're gonna have, like you shot, even if it wasn't your dad, you shot someone in the head. Some people obviously are cut to do that, and it doesn't bug them.
I think it applies to a lot of things.
Yeah, but I don't think Pete is a serial killer who was cut from. Yeah, so I think
it's just the fact that to show me kill my dad and then at the end show me with my son is a little, you know, like I liked that hit home where it was just like, yeah, that's the worst. Whenever anybody says shit gets better, it doesn't get better. You just learn how to live with it.
Yeah.
You learn how to live with saying goodbye, and it sucks.
You learn how to cope.
It sucks, asshole.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's the worst. I would give anything to talk to my uncle, man. I really would. Okay, still New Year's Eve. Kayla, I'll formally apologize.
However, when Pete was going to tell her, I was like, I don't know. But then she turned around and I was like, okay.
Rose is the GOAT. Rose is the shit.
Rose is the best.
Rose is awesome. She's goals. She's
got to be Russ's mom, dude. It's going to come full circle. I'm telling you. We're going to come back to Ennis somehow in one of these next. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I don't even care. Like I said, if Russ and Marty just get off a plane and are like, we're here for fun, I don't give a shit. Just get them there. I kind of thought, are they going to show Navarro, like, cut to her in this? What did you call him last time? The prime US, the main part.
Yeah, the prime, the big.
Yeah, no, but I thought, are they going to cut and show her like trying to do something somewhere else, and Russ or Marty's going to walk in? But I'm kind of glad they did not show them, and I'm going to get to something else in 1 second. But Pete and Kayla. You accept, like I was saying the last time, I'm like, you can't have it both ways. You can't go, oh, I want the sweet idiot I fell for. People change. And either you love all of me or none of me. Like Kavik did with Navarro, going, I'm not going to, aren't you going to stop me? No. She knows, she's either going to choose right there. I can accept who Pete really is. And she knows it. She's like, okay, go do your shit, because I know you're a good man. And we all knew to stand, we're not going to say anything, but we all knew to stand by Pete's side, right?
Love Pete.
We all knew to stand by Pete. He was the greatest. Oh yeah. But at first I got real scared for Navarro, because it looked like Clark was looking at Jodie Foster like, I'm sorry, I locked you in here, and then bashes her over the head with the thing.
I know.
And then I was like beating the shit out of him. I'm like, oh good, she still got the jump on you. Thank
God. I was like, and I'm like, finally we get badass like Navarro.
I don't know if men are fully aware of this, but we're in fear all the time.
Yeah.
And normally in any media or anything, and normally in life, if a dude gets the jump on us and hits you over the head with a fire extinguisher, it's a donezo for us. So I was like, God damn it, here we go. And if she has the most beautiful head of hair. I think it's because my hair does nothing. It's just natural stoner hair. I love curly hair, but I'm like, she's got.
We just have basic white people, like
so boring. So boring.
I mean, it's boring. I'm not also going to complain. It's really nice, but it's boring. Yeah, I get it.
No, but it sucks when you try to.
It's cookie cutter. I get it.
Oh my God! Thank you, Vicky. Oh my God, that's really nice of you. Oh my God, thank you. I really appreciate that. That's all. Thank you. I don't know how to take that. I'm like,
that's some Newport 100s right there.
Thank you. No, I really appreciate that, and I really appreciate people being here. But no, we were all wrong about Kayla. We were all wrong about Kayla. And I'm like, oh, I thought you were a dirty sneak rat, and I still kind of do. But I'm with you.
We kind of should have known, because she's related to Leah, and Leah is like a good soul. But she also, I think, was just being a pissed off mom.
Well, we
also how many baby mamas do you not know that would be pissed, like act the same way? Like really? Well, not even. She's chill.
Well, we also thought she was involved with an evil cult. And like I said, there's got to be way more going on here.
In theory, it is a kind of an evil cult. I mean, it's not an evil cult, but in theory, it's a cult. I mean, they go around and they just...
Oh, you mean that? No. I don't mean the regular people living there. I meant she was involved with some Tuttle shit. No. Yeah, okay. No, the orange fell. And we were talking about this before we went live, that it wasn't so much a death thing, but I feel like twice in this episode, and this is one of the rare times where I'm like, no, I was totally fucking wrong about things, and I don't care. I don't mind.
Mia was a symbol now, I think, of embracing the death. Like, the death.
No, that's what this whole episode is.
Yeah.
Because being okay with it. Death is a natural thing.
Each time they had an orange, Navarro got her name from her mother. I'm assuming it was her mother telling her.
I think we get that. Loved that.
And then the next time, she's eating the orange and then goes out on the ice, falls through, almost dies.
No, I'd argue that. I'd argue what you're saying, because like I was telling you before, I think that they both accepted their death at one point in this episode. Navarro was fully willing to walk out and die until she found a reason to keep fighting. Then
True.
Danvers gave up until she sees Holden, and then she starts to breathe again. And it's like, because I said that, I was like, you got a lot of nerve coming at that sister talking shit, saying she gave up. If you give up right now, that's some bullshit. And you know it. And so I was just like, it still was, but they found their purpose. Same as Russ did. I can't keep going alone. It's not a weakness. The hard part about caring about one another is losing each other. It fucking sucks. It's the worst. And you don't want to feel that pain again. And sometimes it is easier to be alone. But nobody can get through this world without help. Nobody can without friends. And that matters. And you know this about me, and I know this about you. And saying the word friend, that means some shit, you know? I feel like people throw that term around. I say this all the time. There are acquaintances I have. There are people I really care about. There are people I think are really cool. But if I tell you you're my friend, dude, that means something. Like,
I've been saying it for years. Think of the people who don't actually have a best friend. Like a real best friend. Like, that sucks. I couldn't imagine if I didn't have like you or like Erica or like even Katie having a sister.
And mom said this all on her own without me saying anything. She goes, can you stop it for a minute? So I paused it right in the beginning. She goes, can I just tell you how much I appreciate? My mom is 65. And she was saying how much she appreciated seeing two women be friends and look out for each other. And I'm like, I appreciate you, Nicole. Thank you for doing this with me. And thank you for being my friend through all the shit. Through all the shit. Even now.
Dude, thanks for writing me all those times I moved away a couple times. Like, just letters. I still have them.
I mean, I feel like you're my friend.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like I was telling you earlier today, it's nice to just hear somebody go, you're right, or you're good, or I got you. Like, that means something, you know? Like, that's why, honestly, like, people even being here or on the channel, I really take that shit seriously, because I'm like, you're here spending time with me, and I want it to feel like, because I do give a shit, and it does matter. Like, sometimes somebody saying some stuff matters, or just going like, hey, you feel a certain kind of way, it matters. It does. But I'd argue the orange. I think that they were like, we'll fully die out here, but then they did.
No, I do. I can see it going both ways. It clearly has to do with death, though.
Who had a cool coat? Why do I have love that coat in here? Oh, Leah's coat.
The bright blue one?
Yeah, that was a nice coat. God damn, you know.
Did you notice also Navarro's hat color changed after the orange? It went from orange and then it went to blue after that.
She chose to live. I'm gonna keep that. I have something worth
fighting for. Blue.
And you reminded me of this. Being alone in the dark is such a big theme in this season. And then it's like, you're not alone. Is that Hobart?
I thought you meant me. I'm like, that's Shadow.
I was like, you have 18 dogs. Tell me if it's you.
No,
Line up, Clark.
Got Shadow.
Oh. Yes, best friends are important. Friends are important. And it's like, but mom loved that. And I go, yeah, especially at her age. We're not shown that in media a lot. Think about how many things are like about ladies being friends. You can argue Fried Green Tomatoes has gay themes in it, but still, best friends. I have your back. Steel Magnolias. You rarely get, because we're told from a young age to tear each other apart. And it's bullshit. It's utter bullshit. And I was like, that's why those movies stick so close with us even as they get older, because we don't get buddies. We don't get friends. We either we're together or in a romantic way, or
you get into a relationship, or someone gets into a relationship, and that friendship usually just like starts to piddle away. Honestly, I mean, that's truly what usually happens.
I just thought that was interesting coming from a 65-year-old woman going like, I love seeing this friendship. And it's like, it's great. It's awesome.
And I like seeing it because they're different ages. Like, they're,
write a letter. Write your best friend a letter. I'm telling you. Just do it. I mean, sometimes when that too, having a physical thing, you know how I am with the book. And I think that really reminded me of how important a physical thing is, and just having it and doing that for so long that I'm like, And I get letters from Brad still. He still sends me a postcard every birthday, and they mean the world to me. Yeah. See? Oh my God. But no, her tying up Clark. And you could tell Danvers was like,
it was perfect. The torture, I was like, they hit it. Like, I didn't even think of that in my head as to do, and I was like, because if he loves her that much,
Oh yeah, no, I loved it. I loved everything so much. I really did. Jodie Foster was really killing it here, but you can tell she was pulling the Nicole there. Jodie Foster was looking at her like, "Are we going too far?"
Yeah,
I appreciate where we're going, and I condone it. I
respect it, and I'm about it. But are we going to get our answers?
Are we going to go there?
Yeah,
and I was like, I guess we are. But I think
she walks out and she's like, you're not going to stop me, and she's like, no.
Because and like I said, our hero needed to make the choice of we're gonna do this by the book, we're gonna get it on file. But it didn't go that way. But she chose a different route this time from Wheeler. And I loved Danvers saying, if you wouldn't have done it, I would have. Yeah. And I'm like,
100%.
Thank you. Because women get mad too and take shit into their own hands too.
Well, don't you remember the other episode too? They're like, how many times did you go to that house? Like he had been beating this woman's ass and nothing happened. So it's like,
No. But back to what you were saying. I'm sorry. I'm just geeked. But Navarro saying like, you piece of shit. Did you love her? Say it again, asshole. Say it again, asshole. Oh, I was there for that. And when Jodie Foster first says, wake up, motherfucker, I'm like,
no, they knew. They were like, you were involved. But also, how the hell did he know the women were coming in with the hatch? Like, how did he have
women? They have women saying that shit with such vitriol and mean it. I love it.
Did they play a song or something? Like, come and we didn't hear it? Like, how did he know?
Who?
Clark, when they show up. Like, how did he know they were storming the thing?
I think he was playing that music to cover his own noise if somebody showed up.
No.
But I'm like, why did you keep playing that same clip?
No, when the women showed up, how did he know they were there?
I wanted to talk about that, but I was waiting for my review.
That's where I got confused. Like, how did he know? Because he seemed to be like, she's awake, and then ran to that hatch. But how did he know?
Just knew some shit's going down.
But like, did he hear the door? I'm just like, they didn't really
show it.
They didn't explain that very well. I didn't think.
No, I think they showed it. I think that an alarm or something went, and then he ran, and he just knew, like, whatever you believe, the spirit of Annie.
I guess, yeah. I was like, I was a little confused how he knew, but I was like, good for him. Like, I love you were right about the hand. They figured out because of the claw lady.
Yeah, claw lady, man. And then, oh shit. But no, yeah, torturing Clark. Oh yeah, when she says, "Look at me, you piece of shit." That's my favorite thing ever is when people start like when you really mean it and you're just like, don't look at everybody else. Nobody's here to save you.
Yeah, they're not going to help you. Like she's not going to help you.
Yeah, yeah. I love that. Oh shit. Oh man, I'm getting goosebumps. Yeah, did you love her? And then playing the video on loop. I'm like, straight torture shit. Leave him in the dark alone with this shit blaring in his ears. I love it. Yeah. I love it. Do it. Fuck you. Fuck you. Get perfect. Fucked. It's the same as abusers going like, I didn't mean to. I'm like, oh yeah, no, you just meant to kick me in the head and throw something downstairs. Yeah, you didn't mean to, right?
But did you notice too? Lud was the one that first started killing her.
Right. I was totally wrong about Lund.
Lud or whatever.
I know some shit.
Yeah, that's why I was like, was it Lud? And it's like, wait, what? Like, well, I wonder why he said that now, but that was him who was on top of her originally, freaking hacking at it.
No, I literally have a video. We're going all out, huh? These are my notes. It's on.
We're going all out.
Oh yeah. So then we get to who killed Annie, and we kind of thought we might not get this, but we thought it was a group. We definitely didn't think it was the scientists.
No.
And when they said when they first showed the group going, it went, God damn, that was brutal. And good for Annie K fighting back to the end.
Yeah.
Bringing that shit around. Let's go. And like, that's what I mean. We never got to like, what did she find out? The pollution shit or more than that? We got secret hatches and shit going on. No. Oh, I love it all. I love it. I really was taken back by that creepy person standing in the background while she was at the generator.
Okay, I kept thinking I saw bits and pieces though where they made like where like even when Liz is going to walk outside to find Navarro, if you look down that hallway, it looks like someone's standing there, but then as she gets closer, you see it's like a table or something.
I don't want to go doing that a lot. I don't want to go too artsy fartsy on people, but I'm like, that could be like a metaphor for just like like I was saying, we're in fear all the time. Do you want to know why women love true crime? Because we live that shit.
Yeah.
Every day. I can't go to the gas station without going, do I need to use my fingies to cloud an eyeball possibly? You know, like it's a real thing. So I'm like, that could be a constant fear of uneasiness that women just generally have.
Yeah.
Like I said, normally if a dude
kind of
we're fucked.
Yeah. I love things like that. People lurking
about.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh God. And then they do make it sound like a bear at first. Okay, do I have it in my
You got me. I thought I like looked at Rob. I'm like, did we miss
No. I do have it in here. A door alarm went off.
Okay.
And that's what made me think, holy shit, Pete was right with his first thing, because he says those doors are set up in case a bear got in, or they left it unlocked and a bear got in or something.
I see. Which makes sense.
So the door triggered it, and then
because they have food, the bear would go there. Makes
now these are scarce notes, so possibly if people know better in the comments, let us know. But yeah, it says door alarm, a motherfucking bear, wait, hid. So I think I vaguely remember a door alarm getting hit and then him running. But either way, there was something that tripped him to go straight to it. And he's like, Annie's awake, coming for us. And I stand by, it's not Annie, it's Navarro that woke up. The sun rose.
I thought and also I think what they're talking about, like the thing that took them and stuff. It's
Are they talking about female intuition, Nicole?
Well, yeah, but no, they're referring to Sedna, correct? They're referring to that myth, the myth the grandma called out in the beginning, or Darwin.
I appreciated that her name wasn't that, and that it was so spot on, like the sun's gonna rise and that. But
I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it.
No, we're not attempting that. We're not gonna be that disrespectful because we know we can't fucking say it.
I cannot do it, and I will
not.
But
I like that. I like that it was like, oh, it's something that's not like directly we can say or something. It's like no, whether or not we got the payoff of what it meant, it's like, and that lady must be her relative somehow. But I'm sure this whole town's related. But either way,
I'm sure it's just a tribal thing.
I just like that she got it because I didn't expect that. I really didn't. I didn't expect that at all. Okay, yeah. Now we're getting to the Clark shit. Time is a flat circle.
Yes.
And all that shit going on. And I just have he said the thing, so I'm assuming that's what I'm talking about in these notes.
The thing. Oh, I did look up what the tattoos mean on the women.
I'm very curious for that. So many folks are. Good question. I thought he would turn up loose end. What the fuck happened to Tagak? Oliver Tagak. Yeah, he must have known. There's no way we're not doing another season here.
Sorry, I had a brain congestion.
My whole life is interrupting. It's okay. But no.
Write that down.
Oliver knows some shit, and there's no way we don't continue. I guarantee you we're going to have news like within the next 2 days of if we're going to continue this or not, because people are going to be too upset. Some people are going to go nuts about this ending. But it's not that, I mean, there are loose ends, but I was saying this to Nicole before we started, or maybe we did start this, and I said it, but this show has always been about this. It becomes a sprawling thing, but in the very beginning, it's let's find out what happened to this woman.
Yes.
This woman. Let's find out what happened to Dora Lang. Let's find out what happened to Annie Kay. And we did. We did figure that out. These bigger things that we're going, this is crazy. We haven't figured out yet. But they got to do another season here. They have to. But I wouldn't say there's total loose ends, but there's definitely things.
There's a couple. I have something I need to throw out there that I just put together in my brain because I looked up the tribal or the tattoo.
Tell me about that. I love that shit. Tell me.
Okay, so now if anyone does a rewatch, go back because I guarantee now we're gonna know.
If you don't rewatch.
Rewatch because now we've already known who all these killers were this whole time.
Wait, no, somebody said I was wrong about the name.
No, based on the tattoos. Okay, so these tattoos in real life, they're a real thing, and they're essentially only the women get them.
Only women had them.
Only the women get them, and it's a real thing in real life, and it is to distinguish your tribe, essentially. So the number, how far it is and stuff like that can show you, like, oh, you're from east side, west side, we'll just do it like that.
Back in the day, they'd be nomadic. Like
they also do it, though, because those women signify the warriors of the group who are going out and, like, fighting for the tribes and taking care of dead ass serious. They were like the warriors and like the badass women of the group. It was to signify your ranking and like your warrior status.
Okay, so instead of like, I'm not trying to make anybody upset, or I'm not trying to. I don't know for sure, but in the prime U.S., I'm assuming like a chieftain thing or things like that, like a headdress, are more prevalent, and probably up where it was a different climate. The tattoos probably meant a lot more because it's like we had to wear protective shit most of the time. Yeah. So we couldn't do that as much. Yep. But I guarantee you that has something to do with it, probably. That's interesting as shit, Nicole. I love that.
And now I guarantee if you go back, I bet you the women who you keep seeing throughout it are the ones in that group who went in and killed them. Because they're like the
Native American and like indigenous people. Like that shit is so interesting to me. Like, I don't know if people know this, but like the Navajo language is why, like, essentially we even got ahead in World War II because it was just so hard for them to break down, and they didn't even need to use a code. There was like 2 or 3 Navajo speaking dudes that were like, we can use Navajo. They'll never figure that out. And nobody did. Nobody did. I'm like, that's just their way of speaking and their way of detailing the land is so interesting and cool to me. It really is more than other societies.
And I like though how they used a lot of that. I guess I found out too that the writer of this, she went up to Alaska and did like she went and stayed with like these tribes out in the middle of nowhere to like learn the culture and get it right.
I love that.
But the only thing is they couldn't film in Alaska because there's no infrastructure. Imagine trying to get, there's no infrastructure. They don't shoot films out there. So they went to Greenland because they
was it filmed in Iceland or some shit?
Greenland. Because they have a boom, or Iceland, my bad. Sorry, I got them confused because you know how it works.
No, I mean,
Iceland, they have a booming film industry, I guess.
Yeah, well, they filmed all of Game of Thrones there.
Yeah.
And it's like the go-to snow spot. But no, Vicky, you're absolutely right. And that needs to be talked about more. It's like so many folks are armed now just going to the grocery. Right. Like what were me and you just texting about, Nicole? Like,
yeah, I was like, you need to be armed.
Like, it's sad, man. It is. Like, Navarro's name was great. Super disappointed that the she, whose daughter the scientist killed, and the she took the scientist wasn't Annie or Sedna, but instead it was just Mother Earth.
I think it was Sedna, though. In theory.
Yeah, that could be a toss-up where it's like, is it Mother Earth? Or was it the spirit of Annie K? Who are we to say that?
Yeah.
Maybe it was. We don't know. And then it's like,
I think that's how their beliefs and how you want to take it. Like, you know what I mean?
And not to keep quoting Jurassic Park like last time, but what you call discovery, I call the rape of the natural world. Now, what is a mind doing to the earth itself? Oh, is it penetrating into it and it doesn't want that happening? Are you raping the world, the natural world? So I'm like, this whole idea, that's what we've been saying this over here. And everybody who's awesome, who's been hanging out knows the supernatural part we knew is a thing, but we knew when it came down to it was going to be a human conflict.
Yeah.
But that,
yeah, you take it how you want.
Yeah. Is it nature or is it the spirit realm? Is it Mother Earth or is it cause a wheel? Karma's a bitch. Shit always comes around. Even if you're doing evil shit, there's always gonna be somebody who pops up to fuck your day up.
Exactly.
I was waiting for Rose to say, Pete, you remind me a lot of my son.
Dude, when you said it, I was like, when they were sitting on the ice, I'm like, here, she's gonna say some more. But then it was pretty short, and I was like, okay, fine. But there's the Northern Lights. I was like,
I had that. I was like, Nicole's Northern Lights. Here we go. Oh, this was a sick ass scene, just a sick ass shot. It was in Pete jumps back into the Yukon and he's driving the car with the bodies in the back. Because at first I'm like, why are we moving around with these bodies and your family? Weird. Somebody's gonna look in the back seat eventually. I don't know. And then I'm like, oh, we didn't drive that car. Like we literally. Yes.
When he takes Leah, he takes.
And let me tell you guys, a Ford Escape ain't making it through that goddamn tundra. First and foremost, that's not happening. But
dude,
when he's
driving, drive these cars around like it's easy as hell. Like there's no ice. I'm like, you guys chain up your tires. And you're like,
that was something I said too. I was like, I wish they would have showed chains on the tires. And
I'm just saying.
Either way, this was a sick ass shot, and it just goes to show you. My nephew, who's 3, said something the other day, and then me and you were talking about this. I guess I didn't like this. Didn't set in for me until he said something, and it wasn't even about the show. Obviously, he's 3, but he said something about being in the dark and how scary that is. And I was like, you're right, Tommy. And then I thought about it, and I'm like, that would be the most horrifying part. Not freezing to death, because that's nice in the end. Being not alone, scared.
Your whole perceptions are off. Like,
and that's a part of this too with the supernatural shit. Is like you wanted us thinking that with this eerie setting, but that shot of Pete driving finally and them going up and the power going out. Are we alone out here? Oh shit!
Like, whoa.
Oh shit! Loved that. Oh, watching Trapped because my love affair with Iceland is emerging. Dude, Iceland is sick. Honestly, Iceland and Greenland are really cool. I'm still saying. Those aren't whale bones. Ooh, they're not whale bones, huh? There's way more going on here, obviously. But like I said, I guarantee you if they announce like in 12 hours, like, don't worry, we're going back to Ennis. I
was more shocked they actually we're like, no, we found it. Like when he was like, no, we got it. I was like, no fucking way. Like,
but let's talk about the Annie K death scene. Cause
dude.
Rough. That was rough. And like I said, it doesn't matter. Eventually, you're going to lose to a group of dudes.
She wasn't probably in love with him.
I think that was a setup. She totally sought him out to be like, I'm getting in on this shit.
That's what I thought.
Insane. Jodie Foster banging your husbands. Annie K sneaking her way in. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean.
I'm just saying.
I think with their dick a lot more than we think with our vag. And we know.
Thank you. Because I was like, I don't think she loved him. Like maybe he did to her.
She did.
But it doesn't seem that way. But yeah, no. They were weird.
No, she knew fully. She was like, because I don't really like you like that. She wanted that info to help her people, to protect her people, to be a warrior and protect her people. That's what it was. But her death scene, because that happens, man. And just seeing a group attack a lady is just, and it happens all the goddamn time. It's happening right now somewhere. And I always say this, and I'll keep saying it. people really give a shit when trafficking or whatever fits your goddamn agenda you want to push it in. But when you find out it's the girl next door or the chick down the block or your friend you grew up with in high school, nobody gives a shit.
No one cares.
Learn how to give a shit. How about that? This happens constantly all the time, but that gang up was so bad. And then when he grabbed the tool, because we were saying that, I'm like, a drill bit, if that's it.
It was what, 9 of them on against.
You know how hard you got it? That's a dull thing. It's a dull thing. Like,
all I'm saying is, like, they're kind of weak because, like, one dude, like, 2 dudes couldn't get her. Like, they all
talk about this too. Mob mentality.
I mean, I know they were all just following course, but like at the same time,
no, but still, you guys killed a woman over this work.
7 grown-ass men against one. She was little. Like, she wasn't some, like...
Anytime. I don't care if you're men or women, you need 7 to take on 1.
She's not Navarro. Like, you know...
Yeah, you ain't shit. If you need to...
But even so, Navarro, when it needs 7... Well, her real-life one might, but...
No, no, that was... Like I said, it doesn't matter. 7 on 1 is bullshit.
Insane. No, that's bullshit.
Yeah. No, but then Clark being the one to deliver the blow. And like I said, let's pull that abuser shit of going, I didn't mean to crack your head open. I mean, I did love her. You fucking killed her.
You killed her.
You could have died right there with her.
Yeah.
You didn't want that because you're a fucking fucking coward and you killed her. And you can tell, like, she's fighting him off while she dies. She knows you're a piece of shit.
Dude, just got called out 32 stab wounds.
I was going to say, it gets brought up again and she's like, 32? Like I said, I'm not saying it's right, but okay, you panic, you pull the trigger in a tense situation. You panic and you stab or whatever, and then you run away because out of shock. That's very different from over and over and over and not a dull thing. No. And then they said that they kicked her after she died.
No, they sat there and beat the fuck out of her. Like, that's brutal. At least Pete was literally just like, bam.
What work are you guys doing that this is that important? The Fountain of Youth shit? But we're going to find out.
I mean, it must be bringing in the money. I mean, it has to be stupid.
Well, you know. Oh, God. Okay. 7. Yeah, 7 is the most powerful magical number. I'm just saying those aren't whale bones. Brutal. I hated this, and we'll sit and listen and not give in to my rage. Oh, I'm sorry, Tommy. Tommy, were you the one who left the comment on my other video about it panning out and it being Rust Cole doing a dance like Buffalo Bill being the ending? Because I was like, I'd die. That would make me so happy. I wouldn't care. 32 times the glee and then after act all worried. Or I mean, a lot of people do this and don't act worried. This show sucked. The spiral meant nothing. I don't agree with any of that. But you're entitled to your opinion. This was the best season fundamentally. Okay, if you guys want me to turn on my film brain.
Oh boy, yeah.
I can do that and just say fundamentally this is the best season since season 1. That there was nothing left out really, and everything was paid off from the most part from the jump of this season.
But also the spiral was explained. Like, it's for the hunters, and I think
how do we explain it from season?
I think the Tunnels funding that picked up on that symbol down there and now carried it down south, and it's turned in, like you said, it's turning into something
it gets passed
that
on
is bigger.
Generation to generation.
Yeah, I think it started there.
Which is a theme from season 1 and this season of being where you're at and your family and what does family mean and things are passed down to you. That's been a theme. It's been there, but I can see where people would be. I know people are gonna be upset about this, and I never thought they were gonna explicitly explain anything because they never have, including
I mean, you're always
nobody sat around and said, "Let me tell you exactly what the spiral means and Carcosa means." No, it's left.
Well, just like the catfish, we're never gonna figure that one out, especially now that he's dead.
That should be our number one thing. No, I worked in a factory. Drill bits are sharp as fuck. That's true. But to shove one into somebody is something
and then
totally
pull it
different.
out. Like she's got a chest bone there. There's a chest bone cavity. If they hit it there,
I'll put it this way: get a knife, shove it into a watermelon.
I don't know what size boobs she had either. But
I'm just saying, there's a lot of anger there with something like that.
I'm with you.
Stab me with a knife. Don't stab me with no fucking.
Don't stab me.
No, don't stab me. Don't
shoot me in the fucking head and be done.
Oh, the spiral in this season was a name for hunters as a warning, saying to go away. Basically, I think it was more than that. I think I do, but I think this started as something like I said, everything else outside.
I think it started as that,
the symbol of the Carcosa
shit. Knows what.
The symbolism of the Carcosa shit is the same as anything in history, and if you've been here, we've talked about this. Where this symbol is there in one culture or showed up wherever. And then as time goes by and people move and things happen,
like, do I need to pull out my upside down cross shirt?
It is, I'll get to that. It is taken and used in a different kind of way, kind of like white supremacists, Nazis do with Norse shit. And
no, that's true, because the Nazi symbol, if you go to India, they use
all of that is
does not mean. I've seen
how many dumbasses I know. You know how many dumbasses that I know that go to get a tattoo for being Polish and get the wrong eagle, and I'm like, your tattoo artist didn't. No talk there. There was no conversation because this is looking awfully Third Reichy, my friend. I don't know if I want to be hanging out with you in public, depending on where you got that tattoo at. I guess they would have found Salal via the tunnel, meaning they never properly investigate. That's my thing with Salal too. I kind of liked how fast we went through that. I kind of did. And the similarities, but the difference, like I was saying in my reviews for episode 1, the juxtaposition between using Louisiana, and I keep bringing up Interview with a Vampire, but Lestat has a great quote about it, is that it's alive. It's so lush. And that's a part of like the eeriness is like what's really out there, but there's so much life and greenery around. And then in this one, it's desolate, it's dark, it's cold, everything's dead. It's winter. That's a symbolism for death and rebirth, all that shit. But fucking, what was I going to say? I'm kind of losing my thought. And then I started reading things. No, having that juxtaposition, but then also having them doing the same exact thing Marty and Russ are doing in the episode of their finale, going through a weird, windy fucking thing, and it ain't going the way you thought. I really liked that a lot. Because like I said, these characters don't feel like we carbon copied them over, but enough of that.
With them Marty being questioned also, just like Marty.
Let me just say this before people say shit. It's just the Odd Couple. I don't know if you guys knew this, but we really like doing that dynamic with buddy cops and going, oh, you're the stickler, and oh, you're the rogue guy. Starsky and Hutch. I mean, they're kind of really similar, but either way, we like the buddy cop thing. We like the Odd Couple. We like that dynamic. Yep. If you don't think people writing TV don't know that and don't go off that with characters, you're wrong. But they definitely added a little bit of Rust into them. I felt like I could see Rust in both characters, but more Navarro, and you could see Marty in both characters. But they didn't feel like we said copy them exactly. And I really like that. And the same thing with this. You could say this is identical to them going into the Carcosa shit in the finale of season 1. But it feels different enough that you're going, I see that if it's pointed out, but not automatically. And that means someone did something creatively. Like I was saying with the broad strokes of the Bible. My favorite thing is, can you tell these stories? Harry Potter is just Moses. I mean, I hope I'm not bursting anybody's bubble by saying that, but the more you can take these old stories, it's the oldest story, Marty. Good versus evil, light versus dark. Take away the religion aspect. The way you can take these themes that have been around, I can use the Eye of Horus if people would prefer that. And we reuse these themes over and over and over again. We reuse these stories over and over and over again. But how creatively can you tell them? How differently can you tell them? How differently can we tell the story of light versus dark? How differently can we do that each time? And the better you can do it, and the more creative you can do it, and the more you can shake Abby off to the point where she's going, I'm totally fucking wrong about fundamental things in film and where this should go. I love it. I fucking love that shit.
Yeah.
And I like seeing
they also ended it,
dude, get the shit kicked out of him. I don't give a
fuck. They ended it just like season 1 started, with them being questioned about how people died, like how this story unraveled. So they did it in the opposite.
And did you notice when Pete and Rose were sitting out on the ice, they made those stars real prevalent?
Oh, right before
the Northern
Lights. They were beautiful.
Oh, weird that we're talking about that, because it goes, we just have the dark sky, then we just have the star sky above them. Yep. And then, wait, is light moving in on the dark's territory, Rust and Marty, in that scene?
Oh, yeah.
Just saying. They foreshadowed the tunnel entrance in episode 1 when she had... Oh, yeah, no, all of this, I mean, all of it was there. I really liked that. Nora almost kills Danvers and herself by letting Clark die, and then had to walk out and kill herself to find out her name. It's finding yourself.
Yeah.
It's finding yourself on your own. It's listening to your gut and going, I'm learning who I am, but in a extreme way. You know, that's how I took it. And we were saying this earlier, that they both give up on life at one point and then decide life's worth living and fighting for. And we're not alone in this world, even though we've been talking about being alone throughout. And anybody who truly is like, I am alone out here, like Hank, ended up in the dust.
Exactly.
The tongue is the weirdest part. I was trying to save the tongue till the end, but Vicky's VIP. So
what they never, because the women say that's not part of our story.
Who left the tongue? Because then I was like,
was it Clark?
to get the case reopened because Hank wouldn't leave it because unless Hank did leave it and said it, but why would Hank want that case looked at again if he was involved?
He didn't even want his son to get the boxes. Remember, he got all pissy about that.
I'll rewatch episode 1, but I could see maybe an argument for Hank by them saying like he's telling Danvers and Navarro to keep their mouths shut, but it's like, why even remind them? You know how they are. He knows exactly how Danvers is through the entire series.
I think it was Clark.
I think it's supposed to be one of those things left up to our imagination.
That's true, yeah. But I also, if anything, it had to be Clark being a creep. Ice
caves are scary. What? I'm sorry.
It had to be Clark being a creep, I think.
I don't think it was. I thought Clark, but Clark would have said that. Why would you give us everything else and not that?
That's true. I mean, yeah, because he was laying it all out. I thought there was going to be more in the video Navarro left of him. Like,
I was screaming and yelling, so I stood up more than once. I yelled, "Get fucked!" Mom got upset.
Touchdown! Like,
yeah, Mom got upset, so I could have missed that. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. And then we went right to here. The light wins. Exactly, the light wins. Cause a wheel. Eventually, it all comes around. Oh, Angel's here. Give up on life, huh? Sounds
maybe
like
the tongue
Angel,
is like
don't say that. Angel, don't say that. You're great, and you're a good friend, and you're a good person, and that goes farther than people think. Ever see the movie Nefarious? I love the word nefarious. I have not seen it. The most creative creation story. Demons and all? Oh, I'm in. I'm in for that. Maybe the tongue is like the oranges. I don't know. That's what I mean. Like the tongue.
I thought they DNA tested it, didn't they? And say it was Annie's. I thought they did.
I just remember Danvers saying, "I already know what this is because I know the markings in it." But we're waiting on the testing to get back, and she's like, "I know it's a." She tells Pete, "I know it's an indigenous woman. I know that."
The women. Why wouldn't the women have left it then?
Oh, but it could have been them. They might have said that. Maybe somebody tossed it in the montage and I didn't even notice.
No, but she said that's not part of our story, but maybe she's just lying.
But sorry, I'll say this really quick and then we can get into the crazy shit. Just like how we were talking with the Carcosa symbol when you brought up the upside down cross. That was what scared me with Pete, with St. Peter. Because I was like, a lot of people think that the upside down cross is something negative and scary. It's not.
Yeah.
It's very far away from that. It's St. Peter, before he got crucified, said, "I think it's disrespectful for me to die the same way as Jesus. I'm not on par with him. So flip me upside down." So it was
the opposite.
Respect.
Yeah.
It was saying I'm not equal to you. So don't leave me up with the same symbolism. I shouldn't be compared to that. So there's another perfect example of something that we think as a society. Most people see an upside down cross and go, "Holy shit." My favorite was when they were like, "Don't you see Lady Gaga's stage? It's shaped like an upside down cross." And I'm like, well, it depends on where you're standing. Second of all,
yeah, if you're behind it's forward.
It's to walk amongst the crowd, jackass.
Yeah.
It's not demons. You nut job, you psycho.
Also,
but
you don't think he's doing it for this attention?
But I'm just like, a lot of people think that.
Lady.
But over time, I guarantee you, people back in the day with St. Peter knew that's what it meant. And then as time went by and people used it and warped it, it's the same as people thinking Ouija boards are bad. And I'm like, Hasbro invented that.
It's made in a factory, guys. So unless you're there, someone's at the end of the line casting voodoo on it. I don't think
that just goes to show you how far media goes. Is that The Exorcist could make everybody believe like that was ever a fucking thing? Yes, somebody back in the day said, "Let's make out a board and have the dead talk to us." Maybe they do. I don't know. I don't know everybody's gifts. I'm just saying I know there's something. You can argue with me about it all day.
You don't mess around with Ouija boards, but
I don't welcome it. I don't openly say, "Come on in, bud." But I'm just saying they're not a thing.
Not my thing, but also, yeah, they are made in a factory.
Creepy standing in back, inside Clark again. Yeah, no, when they showed Clark a second time, I was like, okay, if this is real, some real like, either he's got a twin or what? Because there's no way we're letting this guy come back from the dead.
I was like, no way. Stop.
And like I said, Navarro made the choice not to blow this guy's head off. She made the choice not to do that. She's like, we're going to do it right this time. I just don't think she was too opposed to you walking out on the ice. I don't think I would either. It'd be like, I tried. I did the right thing. I didn't do this. I didn't throw you out there and lock the door.
No.
You know, you did this on your own. Ooh, you're goddamn right. That's not part of our story, and you can't tell a story without a tongue. But like I said, the women make the most sense because that would make Danvers and them reopen the case,
and they would want that to get figured out, that it's tied, that she got killed here. I would think,
and maybe having finding Annie's tongue officially is we finally gave Annie a voice again.
Yeah, I like that.
Annie's story. We're telling a story. Yeah. We're telling Annie's story. It depends on who we're telling it to. Just a story.
I'm not gonna lie.
The oldest story, Marty.
Well,
God
I'm not gonna
damn.
lie. At first, when they were like, "Oh, she's
chain smoking on this goddamn live, pulling a full roast pole."
No, when they were saying she was awake and they found those tools on there, I thought we were gonna find some dead bodies they were like bringing back to life, and I was gonna be like, "Stop." I thought it was gonna be like
somebody said that. They were like,
"Why did they be like cloning, like House of the Scorpion or some shit?" And I was gonna be like,
"I've been wanting to bring up House of the Scorpion. I didn't know if you read it."
Yeah, it was
second everybody brought up harvesting organs last live. I was like,
no, I was in Miss what's her name's class.
Oh my god, she was the best.
She was the best.
This is Stacey was the shit. If she's still alive, this is Stacey. Shout out to you because
you were awesome. House of the Scorpion was awesome.
House of the Scorpion was the shit. I remember we had to get
book for anyone who doesn't know.
I have it on Audible. We had to get there's three.
Phenomenal.
Did you know it's a trilogy? Yeah,
it's a trilogy,
dude. The Lord of Opium is the next book. It's so goddamn good. I love it.
Dude, my day tomorrow is gone now. I didn't know it was a trilogy. She didn't tell us it was a trilogy.
I'll send it to you on Audible.
Oh, I'm sorry, everyone. Whew.
No, House of the Scorpion is a jam that we all read in middle school, and it was about
eighth grade. But it wasn't. You only read it if you had her as a teacher, because none of the other teachers had you read that book.
Miss Stacey was the shit, man. You know her family. What? I brought this up on another video.
She was clearly like a hippie. Like,
you guys, what's the musical with Debbie Reynolds? Or yeah, that's her name, right? No, not Debbie Reynolds.
I don't like musicals.
Music in the Mountains. Nazis.
Sound of Music.
Sound of Music. That's it. That happened to like that one. That's a true story that happened to that family. But that's essentially what happened to Miss Stacey too. That's why she's cool as shit. It's because she was
she's cool as hell.
No, her dad was a city official, and somebody came and knocked on their door and was like, "Shit's about to get real over here in Europe. You guys need to get out," because they were Jewish. And yeah, dude. And she was a baby, and her mom had to carry her through the woods and shit until they could get to a boat to get the fuck out of there.
I wonder if we read like actual good stories in her class and not like the bullshit.
That's what standing up and doing the right thing is. I might be in this terrible regime, but I'm gonna get you out of here. I'm gonna do the right thing.
Yeah, that's a good book. If anyone now, I didn't know it was a trilogy. I need to read.
It's either a trilogy or two of them. I've read two of them, but House of the Scorpion alone is great. Mateo Alacran, yeah, fucking great. The flashbacks. The flashbacks of the car wreck.
Flashbacks.
We didn't get what I said. But him, oh my God, hearing Holden yelling mommy was horrifying. Oh, let's talk about falling into the ice. When we see the hands, creepy shit. Creepy shit. And this is what I mean when I'm saying female intuition or spirituality, whatever you want to call it, facing some shit that's going to hurt and saying goodbye and ripping the Band-Aid off again. That's all this was face that shit, Danvers. We might not get every answer.
Her son was gone. I mean, she had it fully, I think.
Well, I was glad because I kept thinking Holden was going to say, like, we were murdered, Mom. And no, it was just him. It was doing the thing that we always did in all these flashbacks of listening to Twist and Shout and putting the hand over the eye. And it's like, that's when Navarro knows you're not bullshitting me. Is when
I also thought you were going to find out it was the Stacey whatever that killed him too, or something. Like shit was going to come full circle. Yes. Like
no, but well, like I said, I definitely think we're going back here. And I think in 12 hours, if they announce that, people will be less irritated with certain things. But like I said, the show didn't open up with what happened to Holden. If it did, we'd be going, what the fuck happened to Holden? We opened
that
up.
That was just a part of her finding herself in a sense.
It's about finding yourself and trusting your gut. And she was ripping off that Band-Aid and facing it again. And when Navarro says to her, I was getting teary-eyed. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was getting very emotional when Liz and her were talking about, and she said, no, there's more out there, you know? And that's all she says. She's not saying anything crazy. And then when I was like, oh, so she's going to say, Holden's going to say, I was murdered. And then when she says, I see you. And it's like, that was part of their little game they were doing and the polar bear and everything like that. But I see you, Mommy.
Yep.
Are you proud of me? Like,
it was cute. It was cute too with her and Leah at the end, like actually getting along. Right.
And everybody going like, "Why is Leah the worst?" I'm like, "Cause teenagers are the fucking worst."
Because teenagers,
I don't know if you met a teenage girl.
My mom and I were not tight in high school. Like we weren't.
My mom is my best friend. We were not tight whatsoever.
Do you remember my sister in high school?
I think my mom was like, "What the fuck? When will this end?"
Yeah, like girls are awful.
If you had anyone, 2021, and we're like, "What up, Ma?"
Yeah, no, anyone with a child right now, and if you have a girls, they're probably fine now. But once they hit probably 13 on to about probably 21,
period in on anything, I'm still a monster.
You're screwed. Like now, me and my mom are tight
in a bed and weed. What the fuck are you talking to me for? On my period?
But no, seriously, kids are awful. Like girls are awful at that time. Boys are too, I'm sure. But
one guy at the factory I could tell I kind of made his night because he was outside and he didn't want to say it. And I was like, no, it's nice that you don't want to say it, but I'll say it for you. Because he got up and he's like, God damn. And he goes, she's being, and then he wouldn't say it. And I go, a bitch. And he was like, yeah, but she's my daughter. She's 14. And I was like, no, believe me, we turn into absolute monsters and she'll be back around. And girls, I will say this, girls always come home. My mom always asked my dad that, like, do you want to keep going and try for a boy for like the name and shit? You know how the Irish Catholic shit is. And he was
not
like,
even that niche shit.
Why? Because girls always come home. They drag their husbands home for holidays. They drag their, eventually they come home. And I know everybody's living situation is different, but no, yeah, that's a real thing. And they say a really good quote in Game of Thrones when Arya's talking to Ed Sheridan. That sounds like a fever dream.
Ed Sheridan?
Yeah, Ed Sheridan in a cameo. It's a long thing. But anyway, he's like a Lannister soldier, but they're common. They're just soldiers.
Wait, and actually Ed Sheeran?
Yes, they got him because Arya was the actress was a big fan. But either way, they have a great line where one of them says, boys grow up to go fight in somebody else's war. Girls stay home to take care of their papas when they're old and sick. And I'm like,
Tracy Chapman.
It's that way. I'm not saying everybody's like this, by the way. I'm just saying.
No, like, Tracy Chapman, Fast Car. What's the whole song?
Oh, my girls are 17 and 20 and they're my world. Right.
Because they're coming around at that age.
Coming around. But I guarantee you had some monstrous times.
I'm sure there's been.
My mom's my best friend.
know.
My mom is my best friend.
I
would do anything for her. But I'm not going to lie and say I was a perfect fucking angel in my teen years. I mean, there were some eruptions of insanity that I can't even put a fucking reason to. Like, But no, once we hit like 2021, then we're prime BFF age.
Then you start growing up, honestly.
Oh my God, that's great. My 14-year-old granddaughter lives with us and she's a great teen so far. Like I said, I mean, everybody's different, but I'm like, I just know we can be. Boys can be monsters too. But I'm like, you throw a period in on us. It's just like,
boys are just
I feel like are
way your house
whacked. Well, they're whacked. Your shit's all hooked up. Like, your levels are going all off. And God damn, that factor's in here.
It's supposed to be. Yeah, but that's why Leah, like, that was the whole point of that.
People were really ragging on Leah. People were like, why is she the worst? And I was like, because she's a teenager. No teenager's good.
If she was an adult acting that way, then yes, she's the worst.
Right. At some point, teenagers act like assholes.
It's part of being a teenager.
Right. This is what I mean. And some are worse than others. It is what it is. But that's great to hear. Like, and I'm always great to hear whenever like people have good relationships with their, that's awesome.
Me too. Like, good for you. That's awesome.
Oh, close the door when Rose said that shit.
Oh, I know.
Like, close the chapter on this or close the spirit side of it. I'm just saying. And me and Nicole have talked about this at length. We strongly believe that one of the key reasons men don't focus on that intuition side or that spiritual side sometimes, not everybody, but it's because your dick does a ton of thinking for you.
Yeah. No, I totally believe that.
I'm not hating on that.
I will go out and say that you guys think with your dicks versus listening to your gut. I mean, your dick always comes first.
And men are more logical.
Not everyone, not all of them.
Logical, and that's a good way to be. But women, we got to constantly be thinking, and that's a thing. But men have the nice.
And I'm not saying there's not women who don't think with their
practical.
Yeah, but also there's not women out. There are women out there who also are in that category.
Oh, for sure, 1,000%.
I'm not saying this is like one's this way, one's that way. I'm just saying I do believe we are more in tune because we don't have that organ directing our lives.
Yeah, and you just get used to it. I'm sure. I mean, I don't have a dick, but I'm sure that's something that you just get used to. But
yeah,
I don't know. Okay. Northern Lights, hand, crab women. Crab women. That's what it said. Like, if anybody finds my notes,
though, you're like, crab hand's gonna come back, and then right on the freaking hatch.
Yeah, there we go. Welcome back, crab ladies. Welcome back into the fold. We thought maybe the white women are against whoever, and I loved seeing them together.
Yeah.
When they started showing that shit, and I will say this, throughout this show, and like I said, if you want to hear my artsy-fartsy brain, watch the reviews I do, where I don't subject Nicole to it. But just people who click on it if they want to. But the way they've used music and sound throughout this, and people going like, what is that? Is there screeching going on? Is there this? But this is a perfect example of, no, that was the music they were using, and it sounded like wailing and shit, and it sounded like, obviously you use traditional things here, and it was really well done. But like I said, it adds that layer of what the shit is happening, but in a really cool way. And I'm like, I liked that. But when these ladies came in, guns drawn, I was like, let's fucking go, Mad Max Fury Road. Let's fucking go. Let's do this shit. I was fully on board.
boom. I was like, holy shit.
Fully on board. At one point, I was like, am I not critiquing this as hard because I just fucking love it?
It was phenomenal.
Like, no, I love this shit. I'm all about it. I'm all here
why
for
would
it.
You not?
Like, right. And
everything the mind's doing targets the women in every way. How does it affect the men?
Series has been about that. The entire goddamn series. That's why I'm like, Incel's got a lot of fucking nerve. Incel's got a lot of fucking nerve.
Well,
I'm not saying everybody. I'm not saying everybody's a misogynist piece of shit. Even me, like nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
But if you don't learn, like you said something earlier, and I was like, yeah, that's exactly how it happens. You go, wait, now that I'm saying that out loud, that sounds kind of sexist. Oh, we're talking about the gambit shit. But I'm like, that sounds kind of sexist. And then it's like, okay, maybe, whatever. But we're talking. So it's not to the public. And so that's when you realize it. And it's like, yeah, there's definitely been things. Like I said, women are raised from a very young age to not stick together and to do that passive aggressive shit and to just tear each other down.
Bitch and
to tear each other apart and to see this white woman, these native women all standing together here and going, no, fuck that, man. And we all know what the deal is and to keep our fucking mouths shut because we know how this goes.
Yeah.
We know how this goes. It doesn't matter.
We're the ones being affected. The men are all
do the right shit. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. Because I was
We're
literally
the ones whose bodies are getting destroyed having these stillbirths.
Imagine working somewhere for 10 years in a factory, busting your ass, and then the company, the people at Ford Motor Company look you dead in your shit and say, you should have just beaten him up at work. You would have gotten in less trouble. And I'm like, instead of reporting it with documentation and doing the right thing and telling everybody like, hey, this guy needs to be moved along with
that's what they essentially were doing. Imagine if they tried to report this.
Right. Get fucked.
It would have got shut down.
Shut down. I really do. I'm like, Vern, I should have beat the shit out of you. I should have.
So what did they go do?
Never even cussed him out.
They went and fucking destroyed the lab.
Went and handled that shit. And like I said, just seeing women stand together was awesome. Fucking awesome.
No, I loved it.
I don't care if it was bad or not, technically, because I fucking loved it.
No, it wasn't bad. What they're doing is awful.
These are my notes. These are my notes. All women are in on it, standing together. Same story. Nothing ever fucking happens. All caps. Fuck yeah. All caps. Fuck them. All caps. Get wrecked. I don't care if this is good or bad.
No, I'm all about it. What they did, it was about doing the right thing.
Being a true detective. Sometimes your dad's a scumbag and needs his head blown off, Pete. It is what it is.
Unfortunately.
Oh, shit. Here we go. Oh, they hated me for a while. Right. And it's like, there's no other hate in this world like a teenage girl.
No.
And it's like, why did that happen? I just shared something to Roach the other day because he's got two daughters that are like his height. They're like 6'4", and I'm like, I fucking love that. Basketball. Everything in me, I was like, do they want to play now? Like, they're older. I'm like, I'll still teach them. I was so excited when I heard their height, but I'm like, it was something that was like, oh, when dad gets mad in the house, and then it was like sons, and they were going like, it was like wives, and then it was like daughters, and they were walking out like this, and I'm like, yeah, that's all he deals with constantly.
Yeah.
One of the cool details that Blair lost fingers working at a crab factory, and crab.
I like that.
Hashtag crab women. Oh, I love that. Oh, I like that. We eventually will be okay. Eventually. Yep. What did Danvers say? She had a really great line where she said, it's crazy the shit we can survive. And I'm like,
yeah,
it is.
But that's for women. Look at how we go through births. You can
men too, but still, that's a crazy. Like I said, we can't go down the street without being afraid.
Yeah.
And it sucks. And I'm like, it is a real thing. Women are raised to judge each other and hold it. Yes, that's exactly it. We are. And like I said, so seeing women at all stand together. And like I said, seeing friendship of women, not romantically together, not you're my daughter by blood. Like, no, friends, I got you, man. Like, and we're going to do the right thing here. And if doing the right thing means ganging up on these assholes, let's do it.
Who are destroying our land and all our like option to continue on because they're killing kids. Like the babies are not able to reproduce.
And then I'm like, there are a couple things where I'm like, you could have done this with a line of dialogue. But like I said, in 12 hours, if they don't say we're going back and doing another season, then I'll judge it harsher. Harsher, yeah. But when it comes to shit we were told in episode 1, we got to the bottom of that. And season 1, we don't get answers to every little thing. It's just season 1, But this is I don't want to say just as good because I do think season 1 is probably in history the greatest one-off season television ever made.
It's definitely up there. It's good. They did a phenomenal job.
And I love Mahershala Ali. Things will get extra points just for having Mahershala Ali in them. And
I think this was better than season 3.
Way better than season 3 or 2, for sure. Just on an entertainment factor, it was.
Yeah. the story, they just wrote it so well, I thought. Like the writing, they did a good job telling of it.
You want to know what? We are quick to do this in society. And I've had to break myself of it, of going like, am I judging this harder? Because it is women. Like, I didn't naturally go like, oh, yep, no, society's like this. It's like, no, you learn. And then you're like, wow, why am I thinking that way? Why am I going way harsher on you?
Why do we think it's just weird that this mob of women is going in to kill these men, where if it was a group of men, like in a mob,
we have groups of men ganging up throughout this, and it's not weird, but we have women doing it.
Watching The Wire. How many times are they sending a gang in to shoot another gang? It's happening, but it's all men all the time, and no one.
It happens in the show. We have several different groups of men doing fucked up shit together and going in and doing shit.
Don't bash an eye, but now you know what I mean? It was all, I think they did a phenomenal.
No, I'll start going full Joker. That's my thing. I just hope that nobody realizes the things that I quote 90% of the time. And then I'll start going full Dark Knight Joker, like, oh, these people aren't so noble, are they? And I'm just like, I hope nobody realizes what's happening or what I'm saying. But no. I'm like, no, I'm going to start going full, like, crazy town, and I don't want to do that on you guys right at this moment. If I normally, I'll normally say that in my video. Like when I first went off about Corlys Velaryon and House of the Dragon, people went nuts. They're like, a black man, and I was like, God forbid, someone who looks in a sea of white-haired, blue-eyed fucks. How do you want the average viewer to tell these people apart? Also, not to get into it, but there were always rumors about Rhaenyra banging somebody on the side. And what better way for an audience who doesn't read all the crazy shit like Abby to go, that ain't your baby? Then if we have this white pale turd marry this black dude and that baby is white as shit. I'm like, to the audience, to everybody goes, that ain't your baby. This was the smartest move they made. But I'll just come out the gate swinging. I'll be like, listen, if the fucking idiots don't want to hear this, click off the goddamn video. So I try to reserve those rants for actual videos instead of live, because we just started doing these. Navarro's alive, learning the world of her name. And dude, well, here's the thing. Mom, that's why it took an extra minute, Nicole, just so everybody knows. Prior to me running to the store really quick was... Mom started getting irritated, overthinking it, and went, well, what's going on with Navarro? She kept saying Navarro's going to kill herself. And I was like, no. She would have died or ran out there or killed herself.
She's alive.
Half an episode ago. Now it doesn't make, like I said, movie film brain Abby, fundamentally now for this character, that does not add up. It does not make sense. It doesn't. She's got something to fight for. She's got something to live for. It doesn't make sense. So she's not going to kill herself. And then Mom's like, see, she's walking out. And I go, then why's all her shit packed up, Ma? I was like, she didn't run. She's not dead. I was like,
Alaska's a great place to hide. They all.
I realized I love this, by the way. I love this when she's getting interrogated and getting videotaped, and then she's like, "Well, Hank this, Hank that," and then they're really going hard about the Hank thing, and then Pete comes in, and that would be like if something happened to you and Katie walked in. People would go like, well, she's with you, so like her son's with you, so you must not have done anything that jacked up, and they kind of let that go. Then it's, where's Navarro, where's Navarro, where's Navarro? And she's like, I don't know, did you see the Clark video? I think they were insinuating, and I should listen to it better again. Like I said, we just watched it with everybody.
We literally watched it
and got on. But they're insinuating you killed Clark. Because that's what they said. They're like, oh, weird, he died the same way. And she's like, it is really fucking interesting, actually.
It is interesting.
I'm like,
because they also know that they all didn't die that way out there also. Like, they cops know that that's a cover-up story, right? Like, am I wrong?
Right. Nope. All I'm saying is you boomers fell for people inverting the photos with a murder case. So
the best part is, though, is like, I believe that 100%.
Sorry, I was, and just to add on to the women thing, that's why women are so affiliated with snakes. Is because it's like they're conniving, they're sneaky. And I'm like, no, we have to think. We have to think. But that's another one. These men who are interrogating her are looking at her like, you fucking lying bitch. And it's like, I don't know nothing. I don't know anything. And it's like sneaky snake lady, not telling us the fucking. And it's like, yeah, but guess what? We don't all.
Well, then she also says, we'll find his body, if anything, in the spring. Remember? It's like,
fucking.
No, you're not.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
No, you're not.
Awesome. Oh God. But talking to them, it's just a story, though. And when I'll tell you guys what really hit me hard was when that main lady telling the story said, "Take your clothes off." So guttural, and it's like, yeah, how many little girls, women have heard that shit before something awful happens?
And so now it's grown ass men.
That's the most demeaning, like degrading. You're out here on your fucking own now.
Yeah.
You're out here on your goddamn own.
You're your most vulnerable with all your buddies.
Right. Get fucked. And I was like, oh, that, but the way
boy didn't even get to eat his sandwich.
You don't hear.
Remember? Put the bread together.
The goddamn sandwich.
That would have been what I'm the most mad about. I've been that truck my fucking sandwich.
What are we the most mad about? The sandwich not being eaten.
You didn't eat my sandwich.
No, that is the one big thing where I'm
No.
like, the catfish they should have said.
The catfish, but also figuring out Rose. I would have liked a little more Rose in this episode to figure out some more.
But can I just hit you guys with this one with our Catholic shit we were bringing up before? What do they show on Navarro's wall? Like the imprint of it was hanging there for a long time, was a cross. Like this.
Well, and then also,
is there, but it's just like Rust Cole.
Jody Navarro pulls out the cross from her hair when she's going to bed.
That was wild. But like I said, we don't explain. I like them not explaining those things because it's left to us to go, but where did it come from? And we know it's something else, but it's like she doesn't run to Navarro and go, I know this is yours. That'd be like, I don't know all the jewelry you have. You don't know these were my grandma's she gave me. You know what I mean? It's like if you found one, you'd go, I don't know if that's Abby's. I'll put it off to the side though. And it's like, maybe I'll ask her later, but we got bigger fish to fry, God damn it. We're stuck
bigger things going on.
Yeah, we're stuck in freezing town in the fucking science lab with the storm of history. Oh my God. So we're at the interview, Pete showing up, Navarro bringing her up, video, cross shape, where is she? And then I have motherfucking Pete, bitch. And then I have besties, bitch. And I'm like, I love it. But when she came out of the side at the end,
protected him, like,
let's go. Let's go. I love
what's going on, Pryor, or whatever she says. Like, I don't know, Pryor.
And then I thought about, I think, Vicky, you said this, where like no other season is off a detective. They haven't. They've been golden. They've gotten through it. And they were like, if this is the one season that does it, like that's kind of, that might not be. And I'm like, I'm so glad they didn't. I'm so glad we were wrong. I'm glad about the things we were wrong about.
Yeah.
I'm glad the things we were.
I'm glad Navarro's still alive.
Beat up Annie. We were like, a group did it to Annie. You know, I don't know, other shit, but
I'm glad Darwin's alive. Darwin made it.
I'm glad Darwin's alive. Pete's good. Pete, motherfucker. Pete's our big one. Pete's our big win. We were like, Pete, king. You trauma cycle breaking king. I love you.
The best.
Oh, did season 2 off Colin? But Colin was like,
they all died in season 2.
He like when he pulls up at that bully's house. And also, just so you guys all know over here, I don't know if Nicole, you want to get on this. I mean, you can, of course. We're gonna watch more stuff together and do this still, but the Penguin series. The Penguin is my favorite Batman.
Oh, I didn't know that was coming out.
Oh yeah. Oh,
what's it out?
Oh, I'm so geeked. I'm so excited.
What's
he plays the Penguin, and he's so good. He's so goddamn good. Oh, Rachel McAdams, the queen, always. Rachel McAdams is great. She's great. I like, but Colin Farrell off the jump in that is like really on the take and like really long. And I'm like, I'd have to rewatch it and see the context where he died because he does, doesn't he? But
yeah, he gets taken out.
When he beats up the bully's parents is still Aspen and then beats the shit out of him. I'm like, it's awful, but it's great.
Doesn't his car
everybody goes through that when your kid's probably upset. I don't have kids, but if my nephew came to me crying, I'd be like, who the fuck and what the fuck? You know?
Oh, no, dude, I was watching my friend's kid and she like fell at the park and started crying because I like turned my back for legit a split fucking second. And she fell and no, it was one of those things where she just wanted attention from me type of fall. She did not fall hard. No, she did not fall hard. It was like she tripped. Yeah. And then I felt awful because she's like crying. And I'm like, oh my God.
Imagine they tell you someone's targeting me and hurting me.
Luckily, there was other kids there who were like, she didn't really like fall. And I was like, thanks, guys.
I say this all the time. I think the bully word gets, I mean, you know what happened to me in high school. The word bully gets thrown around way too easy. And I'm like, kids are honest. So when it's little kids, I'm like, what really happened here? But it's like, imagine someone really came to you and you really knew, like, not only are you targeting them, but I know your parents are assholes or something. And I'd be like, I'm just saying, if certain last names popped up and me and you were like, who was it? We'd be like, okay.
This jives.
Yeah, I'm smashing your Ring camera later. That's what's happening.
This makes sense.
I'll find out. But no, I love the ending to this. I love
it was phenomenal. I think they did a good job. They wrapped it up.
And you want to know what? Maybe we are a little biased and geeked for this because we're having fun. Why is that wrong?
And maybe we are a little biased too because we're women. I don't care.
But I still stand by.
We need strong female role models still in this world.
Let's just reiterate. There would be no True Detective without Jodie Foster. There would be no True Detective without Silence of the Lambs. There wouldn't be. There wouldn't be. None of it would be taken seriously. They still kind of aren't. But that broke down shit and got things like this taken seriously so that people could make Seven and people could make True Detective and have those be taken seriously as dramas and not just creepy horror shit. And it's like, without her, I think we're forgetting who the GOAT is here.
Exactly.
I couldn't get through season 2. I remember, I think I only watched it once, and then I restarted it for my Dark Tower shit, and I'm like, I'm losing interest real fast.
We were just on a roll.
Ali and Steven Dorff keep you in season 3.
Yeah, no, we were just on a roll watching them, I remember, and that's why we watched through it, and I was like, this one's boring. Like, not boring.
No, this happened perfectly. Like, I churned through seasons 1 and 3. Like, I want to say me and Mom watched season 1 around right before Christmas, like right before the holiday, and I remember being like, is this abnormal? Because our family's acting like it's abnormal, and me and Mom are pulling the Rust and Marty a lot right now, and I'm just like, okay. But then Nicole just watched them all the way through and then landed when season 4 was airing. So then we were like, well, if we're not going to rant about Idaho 4, we might as well do it.
Now we're rant about this.
Oh, hello, Abby and Nicole. Just finished the last episode. Wish I could have been here soon. Oh, no, you're good. This way we have replay.
I feel like they were at like a cabin or something.
Where do they? They're just in the middle of nowhere? Or
it seems like they were at like a cabin maybe or something.
No, it's definitely a cabin and shit. But I'm like, did anybody say they had a cabin or ever at all in this? Because it's like even people who died, because that could be being. I mean, you're in the middle of goddamn nowhere. We live in Michigan, and I still know there are certain people's cabins that I definitely know we could go to where you are more secluded than others. Like if I go to Hillsdale or Irish Hills, I almost said Irish Springs. That's a soap. You're asses to elbows with your neighbors and shit. People know when you're coming and going. But like yours, and then even other people like Dave, who I used to see, their shits.
Oh yeah, no, we're in the middle of nowhere.
You're taking a trail to get there and shit off a main road, and so it's like
you have to take a trail
in Alaska.
If you take the GPS we have to tell people don't take the GPS because you will take a trail, and unless you have a 4x4, you're like screwed.
That's why my Baratheon banner's all fucked up. It's because remember I had to hang it up at the back of the driveway because it kept sending people down to the wrong one. But
it's like I'm sure you need to go the other way because it's going to send you the quickest way, which is that trail, but that trail is
mine sends people half a mile away, and I don't know why. It's very odd. It's very weird. But all I'm saying is if we know shit like that and we're just basic city dwellers in Michigan, then I'm sure in Alaska it's much harder and much more remote.
For all you know, she got like a nice, like had money on the side and was able to buy a nice little place and go like that.
I don't understand. Like even people saying Rose was loaded. I was like, these people are living on small. They're not like, they don't have like Bentleys outside or like.
You can't imagine Alaska. Like those homes are expensive to get.
On screen, everything they show us and that we hear normally means something. So when people have giant homes and extravagant things, that's saying they're wealthy. But
they were living in like basic.
So I'm like, this could just be a nice, well done cabin. Who knows? How do you know Pete's not a carpenter? How do you know he didn't fix the place up? We don't.
It could just be a 1-story cabin with a deck.
Oh no, it is a 1-story cabin. What I'm saying is literally where on the map.
Yeah.
That's what they're asking. But like, so I don't think we're supposed to just the middle of nowhere, right?
I think it's just the middle of
10 feet out of town. Who knows? Because I would not be venturing. Fuck that. Did Navarro leave the SpongeBob toothbrush to let her boyfriend know that she? Yes. I think that was to say like, I'm good. I'm okay.
Yeah, that was her telling him like, I'm leaving, but I'm okay. Like I'm not killing myself.
I don't think there was significance to the ice fishing shack besides having Blue around Kavik, who I'm still like, you knew more than you were letting on for sure. But
unless she's at like Kavik's cabin.
I was waiting for them to say something about Kavik, but I was going to say that. Does anybody at any point, because he says I have a brother, so we know he's got family. He took the kids to Disney World, so we know he's got nieces, nephews, whatever. That's told to the audience. We hear it, we see it.
Jodie Foster's husband died, though. You would imagine she got money from that. She could have bought I mean, we have a cabin in a home.
Pete did?
Heard of.
Who's to stop me if I'm in the middle of goddamn nowhere to just go build a cabin? So I'm like, I'm sure people got
it's not that unheard of. Like me and
you
I
think that Vicky's right when she says, I think Navarro's learning about her people and shit like that. Like I said, we have the nomadic group out there. Yeah, I think that she found herself and now she's finding out more about her place.
I think she's finding herself as her real person, person.
For lack of a better term, she's a whole person now. She's got both sides of her, and now she's like, now
she feels whole now that she knows who she is as a woman.
Yeah. And yeah, I like that. Season rankings 1, 3, 2, 4. Wow, I don't agree with that at all. I can see that.
I put 1, 4, 3, 2. Yeah,
I agree with that.
I agree with that.
Without having finished 2, love that. I feel like Vince Vaughn gets gypped too because like I don't know who picked him for that, but I do feel like his acting is good.
No, he does a good job.
I feel like
It's just, you have to remember, they put him in that right after he got done doing like Wedding Crashers and all these
right after shit, like a couple decades. But I mean, no, we know him as a comedic actor.
I mean,
and then you're throwing him.
He was doing
saying,
all
if
that
you were like Abby, you're normally funny. Now throw on a fucking Brooklyn accent and get out.
It'd be like if they put Will Ferrell in there. You'd be like, what? Like,
I'm just saying some things are funny, and when people start throwing on a hardcore Brooklyn or New York, I should say, accent, it's like
he's trying to be such a hard ass, and I'm like, dude, no, you're gonna go bang that chick over there. Like, it's not you.
Yeah, a lot of folks with giant houses and Lambos can't really afford them. Facts. True. Money is just a construct. Yeah. That's another talk for another time. But yeah, no, that's normally how it is too. And then you find out like, oh, your shit's in shambles. Sucks to suck. Weren't you like talking shit about somebody living in like a shoebox apartment? I bet you there. I will say this, for anybody questioning their shit in life, I thought my life was over. I really did. When everything happened with Ford, I was like, my life's over. I was in there since I was 19. I don't know anything else. Like, I really don't. I'm like, what do I do? And I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I need to find out real quick, but because money is running out. But, you know, I wouldn't trade this for anything. My body, I'm happy. And your happiness, there's no cost. I any day of the week, you can be like, Abby, remember when you had 2 cars and all this shit and blowing money left and right? And it's like, yeah, that was great. And it's like, do I have to be more smart or smarter now, I should say? Yeah.
You have to be more financially
nothing. The one thing you don't get back in this world is time.
Yeah.
You don't take money with you. And I won't trade it for nothing. I get to see my nephew. I get to wake up at a normal time and have cake on my birthday with him. Like, that shit you can't get back.
Little things, dude.
If you're miserable, whatever it is you need to find your happiness outside of, like, I don't know, beating up women and murdering them, do it.
Don't start doing drugs either. Don't condone that.
God, yeah, freebasing. That almost got us in trouble.
Don't do that.
Okay. Did they ever reveal Navarro's sister throwing the tray, having a meltdown? I think that her meltdowns were I think she did have issues, but also spiritual shit.
I think she had mental health issues. I think that was just that. Like,
I try to tell people this in like the best way, because it's like, who am I to say shit?
What about our friend we've just been dealing with?
Right. I feel like I'm a filthy factory rat. What the fuck do I know? But it's like, I do know that everything in a human being says to fight to live. If I'm getting choked, I'm gonna fight you back to live. Yeah. Like, no matter what. And so when that piston isn't firing in somebody's head, they're ill. Something is not. Everything in human condition says the one thing you fucking go hard for is when you're dying. And when somebody can do that, it's rough. So I definitely think the sister was suffering.
Yeah.
Shit. But also, like I said, they leave this open-ended, just like season 1, to go, but was it the spiritual side pushing her or whatever? And then Navarro saying she's getting called out to the guys. Like, yeah, it's okay getting called or getting messages or whatever you think that is. It's how you respond to them.
Interpret it. And
you think that the only way to take this is to die, or is there more to this? And I really like
exactly.
MotorCityNerds, I had thought at first when Navarro left that it was a hint to the next True Detective or Navarro show on her. I don't think she'll get a show on her own. There's no way they'll give her a show on her own.
They did a spinoff?
No, it's definitely got to be. I'm shocked we didn't get a Rust mention. But like, his uncle's running around like they have to announce something in the next 2 days. It's gotta be. It's gonna be like Marty and Rust go on vacation to fucking Alaska.
To Alaska for a fishing trip.
Right. And they said what you say all the time. What's this? What is this? I don't know what that alert was. What's new? I don't care, MacBook. I barely understand you as is. Don't start sending me messages during the live stream. God, what was I just saying? Navarro on the ice. What was I saying? Sorry. The people that are involved. I fucked up. People that make the trailer. Wait, what were we saying? The next season? Is that what I was saying? Either way, they got to announce something. I'm sorry, guys. I really did. That really threw me off. I barely know how to use this laptop. This was a gift from my mom like 3 years ago when I started YouTube. And I'm like, I've never had an Apple anything. Ever. Even when I was young. And I'm like, I'm so grateful for this. It's an awesome gift. If you guys want to know why like the sound is fucked up or Abby's reactions kind of look thrown together and not
crazy
because I have no clue what's going on this laptop, and then I'm like, throw the Apple part in and I'm like, panic, what the fuck is popping up in the corner? But then I feel like Pete half the time because mom's like, you're under 30, make it work, and I'm like, I'm
figure it out
now, but
you should figure this out.
We'll still figure out the Wi-Fi for you, mom. Okay, let's see. I gotta rewatch and see if somebody said in the background they had a cabin.
I can't remember, but
yeah, 1432 I think is the correct order. Did they ever reveal the? I had thought at first when Navarro left that it was a hint. Blah blah. Must have But when I say blah, 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 I don't mean what you're saying is not, I'm trying to, did they ever reveal?
Trying to go quick.
Yeah. Cutscene, the people that make the trailer aren't involved in production. I was saying this earlier, and this is totally separate. The people who are cutting trailers at Netflix, I said this on, oh, by the way, The Legal Aliens, they're an awesome podcast here, and they're in Detroit, and they had me on earlier, and that episode should be up later this week. But I talk about the Netflix trailers. Man, whoever's doing those trailers, Netflix, they need a raise, because you guys are killing the game with those trailers. But no, I get what you're saying, but why are we talking about the trailer? I mean, are we talking about production? Because I just meant like an announcement. I wouldn't be surprised if you hear from HBO in the next 2 days, like, people are returning for the next season, don't worry, or just something like that.
Or they're signed on, something like that.
Or like, don't worry, they're going to make a statement about it. Like, man, they're willy-nilly throwing shit at everybody and pulling the plug. Of course they're going to do this. But my thing is Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey are, and this is the other part too, you guys do realize that they're like executive producers and shit, right? Like everything is ran by them. So anything that that is going on, they've agreed to. So if our Lord Savior Matthew McConaughey is agreeing to it, then I'm just saying. But I just don't think they're George R.R. Martins. I don't think they're just going to go, throw me money and you can have my shit. I think that they'd be like, no, you got to give us a plan here, or what do you want from us? And I wouldn't be surprised to find out you guys already had both seasons wrote, or at least the majority of it, for this to continue, because I guarantee you, HBO's dumb. They've made dumb decisions. But no, somebody in a room went, okay, well, if we're bringing all this shit in, people are going to be pissed at the end. And we got ladies in this, so people are already going to be pissed. So, I mean, we gave them Jodie Foster, who's the GOAT, but they're still going to be pissed. So when we get to this ending, what do we have to go off of after that? And because we need to know as a streaming platform, like, we need to know, like, are you going to bring this home again? Is it going to do whatever? I'm sad that the creator went to FX, because I feel like FX, I'm really excited for that Shogun show coming out, just visually. But they got a bad habit of they make soap operas for men. Like, and that's not bad.
No, I get what you're saying. They do
went to shit after season 3. After they went to Ireland with the IRA and came back, that went to shit. And I'm just like, it's just a soap opera for men, and that's fine.
Even in the early 2000s, what they used to air on there,
even The Shield, all that shit. It's like they do great. That good. They wring their shit dry and make it like a soap opera. Like I said, the first few seasons and stuff is normally really good. And then the only one that stayed on par is Always Sunny. And that doesn't get acknowledged the way it should. But I'm worried, because
that's not go there. Always Sunny is amazing. Yeah.
What?
I said Always Sunny is amazing. That's its own animal.
Oh, it's the best. And yeah, I was glad that they took shots at the Emmys this year. But anyway, no, FX has a real bad habit of going, oh, we got a real good thing. American Horror Story. That used to be, it wasn't top tier. It wasn't The Wire, but it was good. And then we started going into fucking Wareville. Like, what are you doing half this shit for? And FX has a bad habit of doing that. And that's why I'm like, that creator is great. He's amazing, obviously. But I'm afraid you're going to be
a phenomenal writer for this season is all I'm saying. She crushed it. Like, she brought it all home, I think.
And he had to sign off on you taking that over. I'm sure they own the rights to everything, but I'm sure that guy had some type of clause. If you don't, you're a dumbass. Like, and you're working with HBO and shit, there had to be something that said, like, and he had to agree to probably giving up that right completely. He was the creator and the writer. That's huge.
Yeah, but no, I think she did a phenomenal job.
Oh, man. Dude, them going to Max, really, it's so dumb. HBO used to mean prestige television. You knew when you turn on HBO, a certain caliber of show was happening. And ever since, they're like, and it's not that they're bad. I don't think Last of Us was terrible, but I don't think it was as good as people were hyping it up. I'm like, it's slow, and I keep taking 19 naps. I love these characters, and I love Pedro Pascal.
It was something for some people to watch, though, also. There was nothing out also at that time.
No, we thought we were missing things too. Don't worry. Don't worry, Geraldo. We did too.
Yeah, you're not the only one.
Oh my God. No, thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, because, man, some older ones are rough. Some of my old, but I leave all my old videos up so that people can see, like, I literally gave up. I was like, everybody back down on me. I'm not doing it. And then my friend who passed away, Embry, he walked up to me on the line one night and went, hey, Embry, and I took my headphone out, which irritates the shit on me. Don't make me take my headphone. And he's like, just do it. He's like, just do it. And if you look at my first couple of videos, I'm in the spare bedroom. And there's like blankets covering the wall, but I'm like, no.
You're on the couch, I think, too. You're just sitting on.
Like, yeah, but if anybody ever, I didn't have a light, I didn't have nothing. But if anybody ever wants to start something like a podcast or YouTube or whatever, I'm like, just do it. And then I'm like, I could private these or put them on unlisted, but then I'm like, why? Like, at least let people see, like, we were not doing so great back then, but we didn't care and have fun with it. It's okay. It's
using
okay.
Like my work laptop. Like, this isn't some production.
Right. I don't know what the shit I'm doing. I can barely do this.
I was like, there's my producer sound asleep in the background.
And when I go to podcasts and they have a real person there and like 4 cameras, I'm like, what is this setup? Wow.
I'm like, whoa.
They're like, Abby, don't you? And I'm like, no.
And meanwhile, I'm like, I'm going to put my Snorlax in the shot today.
Yeah, no, that's always my thing too. I just need a little extra scene that shows Navarro was pregnant, had a daughter, natural water birth, of course, and named her after her sister and teaching what her indigenous name is. I do like that, but I do feel like that's why she called her sister baby girl, was because
that was her baby.
She lost a child, but she raised her sister more than her mom did. That was like,
I don't think she's also going to have a child. I don't think that's in her. She
doesn't strike me as that type. Yeah,
her deck of cards.
I don't hate this Max the Monster. I really don't. I like that, but I'm like,
I would love it, but I don't think it's in her.
But also, and this isn't this isn't saying like your comment is bad or having that is bad in any way. I do like that, but also, women are more than birthing thing. Like, they can be more than that without having to have kids. Like, and I do like keeping that character from having kids, but I also wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that if Copy had a kid.
Though, too, because she knows what's going to happen or could happen because of where she's lived. Like, wouldn't you be afraid to have a baby coming out of Ennis?
Facts, dude.
I wouldn't want to get pregnant there.
Geraldo says the Yellow King has a blue queen now, and I really like that. I really like that
a
lot.
That.
I feel like the blue queen is a positive to fight the Yellow King.
Me too.
Keep them back, yeah.
Everything with blue is always good. Like,
oh, I could be tripping, but I swear in the trailer before the episode started had a voice referring to Navarro as Lisa. I wonder if they changed her name. I don't know where I got Mary from for Rose, so you very well could have heard that. And who knows? And like I said, we're doing a lot of whispery shit. So yeah, I thought Childress was a name, and then
but also the wind.
Like, it ain't what you're saying though.
But it's also like the wind's whipping. So what can you believe it as?
I'll go back and listen with it. Well, mom hates captions. I don't know. I always thought it was because she was getting older.
We were talking about this. No, I always do the captions.
But she's like, no, it makes me feel insulted. And I was like, why? And she goes, like, I can't understand English.
No, because people mumble.
I'm like, no, it's not because of that, Mom. I like having captions on. They make me focus.
Yeah, no, people mumble and shit too.
Did you ever watch Peaky Blinders? Yeah.
No.
I mean, for the most part, I can understand, but it's like that a couple times. I'm like, what?
No, there's part, even in The Wire, it's nice too, because like, I mean, they're spitting like slang.
That's really sweet to say. Like, you're an inspiration. That's really sweet to say. I mean, I feel like just being good people and like I said, the whole reason I started my channel was because I was like, I really hate going to the other channels and constantly hearing, well, let me tell you all about this and why you're fucking wrong. And then you go to comments and people are like, fuck you, you don't know everything about Peter Parker. And I'm like, no, I know the bulk of it, but can't we all like him? Jesus, calm down. Like, man, you know me with Game of Thrones, and I'm like, that community. Buzz off. Calm down. It's okay. Take a chill pill. We're all gonna be okay. I was really hoping we would learn that women their head half blown off, said Navarro. Oh, I was really hoping like Kate McKinnon would pop back up.
I know. I was shocked.
But like I said, I did like seeing the unity between all the women. That was really sick. Any ideas? The twist and shout. Man, in the very beginning of this, in my first review, I was like, twist and shout means way more. And I think it's attached to the way these guys are dying out on the ice.
Yeah.
Because twist and shout outside of the Beatles.
And yelling, yeah.
Horrible. But we know that Jodie Foster was listening to that with her son and that it reminded her of him. So that was a trigger for her. That's why she hates it in the very beginning. But also, if we just say they twisted and shouted, that doesn't sound like a happy good time. That sounds like...
It also never played again after she accepted everything.
God, thank you so much for the super sticker. I really appreciate that. What? Sorry.
It also stopped. It never played again also, too, obviously, because she ripped it out. But after, like, she accepted Holden and everything, I think it was, you know, a way to
take on
calling her to him almost.
And that might be really hard to do. But you can live and have a life still after you lose people, and it sucks. Losing people's the worst, man. It is the absolute goddamn worst. Yep. Oh my God, thank you, Random. I really appreciate it. Man, I really appreciate I'm gonna get emotional. Like, I swear to God, like, I never want anybody to feel like they have to give shit. I really don't. But I'm like,
we're just here for a good time.
Oh God, it's funny and engaging. Oh,
I'm gonna
thank you so much. I appreciate that shit. And I try to tell people that. I'm like,
no, I was like,
you know how many calls I get a week that's like, just go back, just go back.
I mean, we can just blame it all on Shadow. It's because he's here. The good-looking pup.
Right, good-looking pup. Oh, speaking of which, I never checked on mine. God damn it, Hobart. But no, I really appreciate this, guys. And like, that's what I mean. I just want everybody to have fun. And I'm like, whether or not we hate this season or love it, or like I said, I'm not saying everybody's a misogynist asshole out here. That's for sure. I don't believe that. What I'm saying is, even me, even like, there's a way that we are taught and ingrained in society as is. And once you step back and go, like, am I doing that? Are we judging it harder? And like I said, she's a boxer, dude. You tell me Floyd Mayweather. You tell
That's
me
why
Floyd
when
Mayweather gets
you
cast
came
across from Anthony Hopkins,
dude,
in the most anticipated show on HBO, and tell me how he's going to do. Nothing against Floyd Mayweather. I just don't see that happening.
Dude.
I don't see that.
But when she's finally beating Clark's ass, that was finally her peak moment. I was like, yes.
So geeked. Patrick Swayze is number one. Nobody's cooler than Patrick Swayze ever was. I love Patrick Swayze. I love Roadhouse. I did not expect Conor McGregor to show up in that trailer. And I was like, holy shit. But he's doing the Mr. T thing, where it's like, we're doing the big persona. He's Conor McGregor in a movie. And it makes sense for the movie. And that's great. That's awesome. Go with your gimmick. I'm not hating on that, but I'm saying, like, really, seriously, let's cast Conor McGregor in something like True Detective and tell him to act across from, if it's not Jodie Foster, Anthony Hopkins.
Exactly.
You tell me they would give the performance. This don't happen.
No.
She worked her ass off to do this shit. And good for her.
She did phenomenal.
Go get a cup of coffee. You guys appreciate both. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Like, and like I said, as long as I can make people like, that is my favorite comment ever, is whenever I get, you made me laugh. Like, somebody left a comment last week saying, like, I laughed so hard. And said,
just
kick him in the husband. I'm like, yeah, kick him in the husband. What am I saying? What am I saying? This is what I mean. Nicole's tolerated my shit for what, 20 years now?
Oh, yeah.
How old are we? Yeah. And I'm like, God, can you imagine me younger? I'm like, kick him in the husband. Kate McKinnon. Not even saying the right name. It is fun. I look forward to this all week. That's why I was like, Nicole, we can't stop. I'm so excited.
No, I was excited. No, I was like, Rob's like, I'm going to bed. I'm like, well, I got to go record.
Man, right. No, I know. I feel bad.
He also wakes up like a lot better. The sleep. But did you notice my nose was running? Yes, everyone. I have a cold. I don't do like
it's okay.
Those type of drugs.
I know what's funny is that from being at the plant, because you have dirty ass gloves on. So you learn to like touch your face and itch like with this. And that's why, not only that, but I had my septum pierced for so long. That, like, I naturally go to here when I'm resting because I'm looking for that septum piercing. And so people are like, are you sick? Are you doing something? I'm like, no, I'm just it's a natural thing for me to just get shit out of my face or get it out of the way with my hand. And then I'm like, I'm always doing that because my septum piercing used to be there.
No, I'm a lot better. Even my
piercings really lasted.
Yeah.
Jesus, what a waste.
But I'm feeling I needed that like extra sleep just to like,
I might agree with that, Mike. I agree with that. The writers had to cram what is normally 8 episodes, excuse me, into 6 episodes. I feel that hurt the season. Personally, seeing the ending with Navarro and leaving it up to interpretation sucks too. I really liked that.
They did that.
I don't think that was left up to an interpretation.
Do you think they only gave her 6 because she's a new writer though, too? Like a brand new.
This is what I mean. I'd be very interested because I truly do. I avoid all other reviews, all other podcasts, anything covering it, the after the show shit. I really do because I don't want it to affect how I'm viewing something. Like I really like to give my take on my about shit, and then I'm like, even if I'm wrong, because I'd rather give you a genuine thing than go, I looked it up. So I really haven't been looking into it hard, but these things all get ran by 50 million people.
Oh,
like, you gotta remember at the top of this is a conglomerate that we need to do well. And this was your biggest title, like, and for 5 years. This was your most anticipated thing, I would say. I would say people are more anticipated for this than House of the Dragon. Like, people are geeked for that shit, but I'm a huge Game of Thrones person, and even me, I'm like, oh shit, True Detective. Jodie Foster, let's go. Oh my God, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Kind of like what you're saying. There's so many spinoffs of Game of Thrones now. What?
Right.
Well, you know what I mean?
What are you fucking doing?
Like, come on.
That's a whole other topic. Honestly, if you want to start, Nicole's never watched it. If you watch that, I will totally cover every like 3 episodes with you.
Oh, I've never watched it.
No, but I didn't mind. I didn't think the ending with her being there was up to interpretation, but there was a lot of things left up to interpretation.
Yes.
And we talked about this earlier. I won't get too into it because, but same thing with season 1. A ton of stuff there is left up to interpretation, like the supernatural shit. And we never find out what Carcosa really means. We have people talking crazy monologues. We never get full descriptions. So why should we get it here either? It don't make sense. We get more of a description, like more of a thing here. And like we said, through time passed on, whatever, than even there. Like I said, we kind of know, but we don't know. They don't tell us. But I felt like the ending was, I got her back. Yeah, I got her back, and I looked out, and you guys want her for Clark's murder, I think. And
the whole time they were like, in the beginning, remember, they're like, we're going to work together, but that's it. Like, but now they're one. Like they're tight.
Yeah. No, and you ain't and I don't want to keep saying the pseudo mom thing, but you ain't coming for my kid.
No.
You ain't doing that.
I think Navarro also is kind of like her kid almost. Like
no, well, like I said, that's why she stays. Why the shit would you stay out there after your family dies? Outside, I'd be making Leah move. But instead, you felt the need to stay out here and protect Pete, to protect Navarro. You felt like their mom. You couldn't protect Holden, so you need to protect them. And outside of that, she's my friend.
Yeah.
Fucking got you, man. Oh, we let a guy walk out and die on the ice. I don't think that guy should have really lived anyway. I might hide you at my cabin too.
Exactly.
Ryan, I probably would. I mean, I'll admit that. But I do see where people would be upset with the open interpretation thing. Thank you so much, Meg. I mean, like I said, I'll get emotional. I'm just like, this is, I don't want anybody to be like, I have to give you money. Like, that's really kind to do. It really is. You know how I'm like, I can't, it bugged me when you had to loan me $10, you know? And I'm like, that's really nice of you guys. And I know it's a hard time right now too. God damn, have you gone shopping?
Dude, don't get me
started. I mean, it breaks my heart because I'm like, God damn, we need to go donate our time, Nicole, by the way.
I miss the days when my family had a Birch card.
Used to the drill that made the star-shaped wounds.
Not really.
I was surprised it was from a drill press. See, we were like ice shoes or a drill.
Yeah.
But that's such a brutal.
Thank God Pete and Rose had the ice.
Hey, hello. Game of Thrones is Law and Order of HBO. No, yeah. Do you want to know what they're doing? Okay, because this is honestly, I'll stand by this. I think Interview with the Vampire is one of the best shows on TV right now, and people aren't talking about it enough, and they need to. But I was like, oh, are you getting The Walking Dead is leaving? We still have the spinoffs. We have Rick Grimes coming back to TV, guys. I love Crazy Rick. Crazy Rick is the best one. He's just like, it's my way or the fucking highway. Get with the program. Everywhere he goes.
Walking Dead, so I know what you're referring to.
Everywhere Rick goes, he's like, I run this shit. Welcome to my world. The only time Walking Dead, I mean, I quit a couple seasons, but Mom watched all the way to the end. But when he's Farmer Rick at the prison is the worst time. And then he bites out a throat and you're like, we're back in business, baby. But Rick is coming back to TV. But that's slowly going out. And once they said they're doing an Interview with the Vampire, I was like, stop it. We're having the Anne Rice-averse move in? No fucking way. Because there's like 11, 12 books in that. They're not chronological because vampires forever. So like one's about Lestat, one's about Armand. So there's a ton of shit.
All over.
The Queen of the Damned. Like there's tons of shit for this world. And I was like, this is smart, AMC, if you do it right. And I feel like that first season of Interview with the Vampire is one of the most beautiful things I've seen in a very long time. I felt like I was being hypnotized while watching it. And I'm like, that's exactly how vampires should make you feel.
Yeah.
I watched season 1 today because of the references season 4 makes. Would have loved to have seen Matthew McConaughey go back home to us too. Believe me, we were fully on board with them cutting to Rust Cole smoking a cig in an ice cave. Who the fuck? Okay, sorry. I over-exaggerated. I got excited. I thought somebody was literally stopping. I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? Seriously, I'm alive. But I just got concerned. But no, we were like, if they cut to Rust Cole smoking a cig in an ice cave, just doing a monologue, we'll be there for it. If him and Woody Harrelson pop out of the ice like Scooby-Doo, we'll be here for it. Will we like it?
Were you not getting the Lost vibes though when they're crawling up that hat?
I meant to say that. We were talking about Lost and Desmond and shit. I was like, the way he was crouching in that shit. I'm like, Desmond in there.
I was cracking up. I'm like, are we gonna have a Lost connection?
Yeah, the act, man. Let's rewatch Lost and build Okay, let's rewatch Lost and build your dream team. Who would your top 5 be? John Locke? No, you can't have John Locke. That's like cheating.
Why did I do this before? I've done that.
I think that Rick left. I think that the actor Andrew Lincoln was like, I need to take a fucking break. And that's why he left The Walking Dead. I quit The Walking Dead for 2 seasons, and then someone called and said, Carl's dead. And I'm like, shut up. That little piece of shit. No way. I'm back in. So then I went back in.
I went after
all the way through The Whisperers. I really liked The Whisperer shit. It really came back with that because I'm like, we're doing a lot of walking around and a lot of nothing. And
that's where it was starting to lose my interest heavily because I tried watching it too.
I watched The Whisperers and I really liked it. And then Mom watched. I don't know many people that can say this. She watched every episode all the way to the end, from start to finish, from the airing of it to the end of it.
Good for her.
She was like, buzz off. I got Walking Dead tonight. And I'm like,
this is my show.
I right to the end. And I'm like, whatever. And I liked City of the Dead the most. That was cool. And I will argue this. Negan's entrance is iconic. It's one of the best, even if you don't know it, but that guy in a leather jacket showing up with that bat is like, Lucille, it's iconic in its own right. It is. But no, I wish Rust would have been there. I wish we would have like I said, I really thought Rose was going to turn to Pete and go, "You're just like my son."
Oh, I know. That's the only wrap-up piece. I'm like,
Canada in the house. What up, Canada? We love Canada.
Oh, we love Canada. We go there all the time when we were 19. We're getting our pedestrian bridge to Canada soon, too.
What the fuck is a pedestrian bridge? Have you ever taken the tunnel? I never have.
Yeah.
I think the last time I went to Canada, I was like 20.
I've done the tunnel, the bridge, and now we're getting the pedestrian bridge so you can walk it.
You've done the tunnel, though?
Yeah.
I feel like I need a Xanax to do that.
I would usually take the bridge over and bring the tunnel back because there would be no line.
I want to know this. Is Canada as rough? I mean, I don't know if you're near the border, but do you guys have like a freeway that if you accidentally get off on that exit, you get shoomed to the border and then you're fucked and then you're like, I'm not trying to go to Canada. And then they're like, you're doing something illegal.
And then they're like, we need to check your car and everything.
I don't know who planned that.
Yeah, we have an exit that goes directly to the bridge of Canada. I mean, it warned you, but the warning is you're already on the ramp.
You're not from here?
You're on the ramp. It's not a backup. It's not you stop.
It should be another color.
You have an option. It's you're going.
It should be another color. It shouldn't be blending in with all the other exits. But
you should have an option before, is what I'm saying. After the first
Toronto. Okay, I mean, I was like, there's no border. Then I'm like, no, there is. Just farther away. We're just used to Windsor.
Because we're right by Windsor.
That's always a good time when you go there. Bring on season 2 of Severance. I'm so glad the writer's strike is over. I felt so bad for them. I really did. I was like,
oh, I know.
This sucks. And because it's been happening forever. Like, there's been several. And it's just like.
Well, that's why Stranger Things is behind, too.
Well, especially dude, I could get into everything that's behind. But especially when it's like, no. If you want good shit and you want good writers, if you want anything done correctly and well, pay them correctly and well. Point blank, period. And that's it. And it's like, some of these people don't make shit. And it's like, that's not cool, especially when they're the backbone to everything.
They're developing all this.
Nothing. There wouldn't be acting to critique. There wouldn't be.
There would be nothing without the story.
We wouldn't have it without writers. Writers are number one. Like, and you gotta do right by people.
Exactly.
My uncle sued Jingle All the Way.
I love it.
No, yeah, he had a lion named King Jim. The city made him get rid of it because I didn't get to see that though. But he did a movie called The Rosary Murders.
I think it's pretty fair.
No, I mean, but he busted his ass. He worked his regular job. Then he also.
I meant getting rid of the lion in the city of Detroit.
Oh no! King Jim, yeah, that was a real thing. And but he had a Doberman that could sing with the piano. It was my favorite. I have a painting of it. I mean, I don't think it's like an original.
I love my Dobermans.
His whole house was done in crying clowns. Like, oh my god, I love that. And the Dobermans are.
It's my Saya.
I love that. But yeah, he had a Doberman that could sing with the piano. He had a lion named King Jim. He had a tombstone from Rosary Murders in his backyard. But Jingle All the Way came out, and he was like, "No, we own that." And he would like worked 3 jobs and like played the piano at night at a bar to like fund his producing place. I tried getting a hold of them just to say like, "Hi, do you have pictures of my great uncle?" But they didn't get back to me. But either way, his name's Bobby Laurel. And
you can find the story online. After you told me it, I was like, "No shit."
There's a picture of Donald Sutherland and my great uncle in Dooley's Coney Island in Southwest Detroit. Like, and people all know, and they're like, "Holy shit!" And I'm like, "Yeah," but he sued Jingle All the Way and was like, "No, fuck that shit." And I didn't realize how big of a deal it was until I got older. And when I bring that up, I think people just automatically assume like my uncle sued and got money. It's like, no, he had the script and had already had the rights to it. They were going to make this Christmas movie, whatever. And then Jingle All the Way came out and he's like, that's bullshit. And then they fought it in court and they called this, there was shit overseas in London newspaper. They called it in the newspaper, the David and Goliath of like the entertainment. He's the reason that the way contracts get wrote for people got changed. I didn't realize all that at the time. I'm like, I just thought my uncle Jingle All the Way, and people got mad when I said that. But no, he won and proved it in court and was like, you stole this from some little writer who was a teacher at a high school and just wrote it on the side. And then they like blatantly put a fake name on it and were like, yeah, sorry, we didn't fucking steal that. And they stole it. And he was like, we have the rights to it. And they were like, back down, we'll pay you. Back down. And he was like, fuck you.
No.
I'll take you all the way to court because
I want this in writing. It's mine.
Compensate them. That's all. Pay them. Yeah. Say you did it and pay this man. That's it. Oh, Columbus, Ohio. Oh, Ohio. We have beef, but not right now. We're always good.
No.
Ohio hates us. We hate Ohio, but we support you.
You guys got way better roads than us. I'll give you that.
96, either the hood or the bridge. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but I'd rather go to the hood than get in.
Would you rather drive down? Telegraph or 96? Neither. They're the worst. It's
I'm
only
trying
gonna
to
get
think
worse
of the
with
road.
more.
I'm literally thinking of the quality.
I have videos of me talking about this stuff extensively. I don't want to bore Nicole too much, but like contracts and streaming platforms and that's the thing with streaming platforms and content getting pushed out. This is why reality TV happened. This is why reality TV was so big. People went on strike. That's why The Office
So
suffered.
they're
I can
like,
guarantee that. That's why
let's just
Lost
film real
suffered.
people.
Lost started to dip and then they got crazy. And it's like, I still love it. I don't care. But that's how reality TV became so big. It was because they were like, we can't use writers. So what do? We got to churn out something. So they want to just churn out as much as possible. And that's fine. Not everything's going to be the greatest quality ever, which I wish it was, but it's not. And yeah, but with streaming and that becoming so prevalent and the amount of content all of them want so quickly and put out, it's like, yeah, there's always going to be things that are better than others, but at the bare minimum, you've giant ass companies. Like I said, fuck you, Ford, fuck you, HBO, fuck you, Warner Brothers. I can appreciate media on things and still go, whatever you're doing here is wrong.
Yeah.
You know, whatever you're doing here is not okay. And it's like, just pay these people right.
Exactly.
And if you want me to do extra work, then pay me more.
Yeah.
That's not a crazy concept. I think we all want that, whether you work at McDonald's, Ford, HBO. If I'm working harder and working double, then
I want more money
for that, asshole. And I don't work holidays. Shove it. That's a great thing to have off. Go Jays. Telegraph, South Monroe County. The road sucks. Yeah, the road sucks.
Roads are awful.
Oh, we need a crossover Severance universe, True Detective unit. What is? I gotta check the Severance out.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Tunnels and Egan's are rival evil families running the world. That's what I mean. I'm like, because there's somebody gonna be above Tuttle. There's always some asshole bigger and bigger. You know? You know what I mean? It's like, it's nasty. It's so good. Like it really is. Like anybody, to an extent. I mean, Logan Roy's my favorite in Succession. So who am I to say like? There's a certain thing where it's like fictitious titans of industry I can respect a little bit, but like Henry Ford, you were a piece of shit. Like, I don't know if you guys know about this. Like, outside of the insanity, and we all know his racist shit and hating Jewish people, we all know that nasty stuff. That's a known thing. But there's a ton of shit that man, like, I don't know if you guys knew this, but like, this is one thing I was proud of for being there. The plant I worked at was the first one to start rolling bombers off for World War II. Like, it was the first place in the country to pay black and white people the same amount of money. Was there ulterior motive there to have people out on the weekends spending money on your cars, Mr. Ford? Yeah.
Probably.
That's the thing. But he had like lions in the basement. But this was a big thing in World War II. This is why when everybody's like, oh, he was buddies with Hitler. I'm like, no, he wasn't, but he was still really gross. I'm not disagreeing with you. But so many kidnapping attempts were trying to go down, and they were trying to bomb the Rouge plant so much to stop the production of shit for the Allies. Like, that's a big thing. And that's why there's tunnels underneath it that lead to the estates, because it was to escape during World War II. That's when all that shit was made. But then
I knew about the tunnels at the estates and all that.
They had to keep the family, so they had that done. But also, he started throwing lions down there. Oh yeah, started getting nuts. Oh crazy. He used to like shoot his gun over people's head while they walked into work. That's why unions got created. But then there are all other. But the Pulitzer Prize exists because of the union I was a part of, and because of Miller Road, and because a woman stepped up and was like, "Fuck that shit," and them and the mafia were killing each other on Miller Road. That's how that was the first Pulitzer Prize winner. They created it for that story. Because they were like, what do we do for these stories that are so big in our society that they deserve to be recognized more than just huge stories? And the Pulitzer Prize got made. Yeah, there are things I'm very proud of. Nelson Mandela spoke at my union hall. MLK did.
Pretty cool.
Right. Like, those are things to be proud of. And when people...
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I'm like, union, get better. Like, there's something you stand for, UAW. And that shit bugs me. Because I'm like, yeah, there are positive, but there are super negatives. But so when I say things, I'm like... But that shit is crazy to me. And I'm like, no, people that run the world, super rich fucks, they're always got fucked up shit in their closet. Oh, normally, like we said, it's normally way worse than having lions in your basement. And there is a bunch of way worse shit about you, Henry Ford. Like, you were fucked up. You were, but I can respect like the tenacity. You know, like I can respect
that. Yeah.
Like I can respect that. And like I said, there are things that I'm just like, no, there are people running the world and fucked up industry. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. I think everybody's getting sacrificed to Beelzebub? No. Do I think that mega rich people run shit and they don't know how to treat an average human being? Yeah. I think, and it's very gross. Oh my God. Yes. Go Raptors too. Oh my God. Can I just say, people don't put enough respect on Vince Carter's name. And I was arguing about that the other day. That's one of my jerseys I put up. It's my Vince Carter Raptors jersey.
That's
Like, are you out of your
awesome.
mind?
I was
I'm
like, I
so
got
glad
Larry
you-
Bird right there.
Dude, I don't want to hear it. Our Pistons suck ass. Wait, you have your Larry
Pistons
Bird shit up? Larry
I
Bird.
got Larry Bird Funko Pop, man.
I love Larry Bird. Gotta trust the process, I guess. Hard to watch. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I like I said, we can agree to disagree on that. What team do you support? My fave team is Nuggets. I'm a huge Joker fan. Nice. See,
I've seen the Nuggets twice.
You got your Nuggets jersey, don't you? Wasn't that hanging up in one of the videos?
I don't have a Nuggets. I have a Grizz Nuggets jersey.
We're Pistons fans. We're Lions fans. You don't go against.
But I did. I saw the Nuggets back in November, and then I saw them here against the Pistons.
Speaking about Seattle, though, Vicky,
the
Supersonics. One of my favorite jerseys I have is the Sean Kemp Sonics jersey, and I'm like,
no, I got my Larry Bird jersey. That's the one I'm the most proud of.
I have ones I have put away, like in plastic, like I don't open. I have 2 Allen Iversons in there.
I got a Kobe number. Is it 8 or 9?
8.
8. I got a Kobe 8 jersey stitched.
I got the starting 5.
Joey's here.
Joey's here. Pete, everybody, this is Pete. This is Pete. Joey. Oh my God, Joey, you have no clue what's happening, but you're our Pete, bud. You're the
Joey's Pete.
Pete this long. How perfectly fitting was that?
How fitting.
Oh my God, but no, the women fucking everybody up. Loved it. I don't care. Crab Claw.
It was awesome.
I thought you were gonna be shitty. Bucket Boyfriend didn't come into play. But yeah, no, there are some really good things. I feel like, and like I said, this is just me and Nicole going live after.
Yeah.
But no, Joey's in the house. Oh my God. Yeah, the Supersonics, Joey, Sean Kemp. give a synopsis. No, I'm just kidding. But no, if I had to pick a team outside of ours, like I have an Orlando Magic 32.
Personally, I like the Nuggets. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a Nuggets fan.
Are you like a Carmelo Anthony fan or something? Why are you so into the Nuggets?
I just like them. I always
fucking lost my Lakers away jersey, my Shaq one. Should have never allowed that to happen.
No, that's on you.
That was a dumb mistake. But I have 2 other ones. But if I have to pick a team to root for outside of here, and I'm like, man, I really want to see them do good. I don't know. I haven't watched the NBA in so long, but I'm like, I lean towards like.
I like the Bucks, honestly, because their thing is fear the deer. I think that's hilarious. I just think that's fucking.
Honestly, I do like the Celtics. I'd be lying if I said I didn't like the Celtics.
Yeah, Larry Bird. I love Larry Bird. Why would I not like the Celtics?
But yeah, no. Yeah, I mean Celtics.
But yeah,
but I also feel like they're like fuck the Bulls and fuck the Lakers too. So they're kind of there.
Sure.
Oh, we love you, Joey, and you're like I said, you're the reason we stuck by Pete because we were like, no, man, I'm telling you, our friend.
He's a Joey,
and no matter what he does, he means well. So it might be fucked up. He might have said the wrong thing. He might have acted the wrong way for a second, but at the end of the day,
he might have made his girlfriend mad, but he didn't mean to do it.
Maybe that's why I hated Kayla so much. I was like, don't be fucking mean.
Don't be mean to Pete. Yeah.
Joker and Murray are the best duo. How about the 04 Pistons team going to work? Dude, it was the best. It was the best.
Oh, it was a good time.
Man, I'm really sad that this was the finale, but I do think they're right where I'm like, maybe you're right. Maybe there's like a combo of being right here of, did you not trust her with 8 episodes? Or were you afraid? Because I don't care what season you're putting out. You could tell me you have the top-notch everything.
She wrote so well. She brought it home so well.
Let's be honest. Season 2, half of us didn't get through, and that was from the original creator.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that this guy's bad or anything like that, but what I'm saying is sometimes people's other work isn't as good as whatever it was, and it doesn't mean they're bad. It doesn't mean anything. If we didn't have season 1 come out when it did, I guarantee you we would feel differently about season 2. We'd be like, a little odd, but okay. Season 3, we'd be going, this is fucking great. And
if
then
it came out
we got season 1.
Exactly.
Imagine we got season 1 during season 3.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Before you got season 2 at season 1, like
we would blowing their asshole out.
Exactly.
Like, this is so fucking great. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying anything against this guy or the creator. I'm like, let's be real here. I feel like this is the most entertaining and best season they've done since 1. And that's not a knock against him, but he did the other 2 that are involved in that. And that's kind of crazy to think about. But maybe they did say, you know, we're nervous. We're scared is our most anticipated thing. It's been on a 5-year hiatus. We have a
that's
box.
Kind of how it's looking to me personally, but I mean, that's my opinion.
We want to give you 8, but we'll give you 6. And then they said, this will get us by. Because I feel like that's the level True Detective's at, where it's like, what will people just be like, at least it's not season 2.
Exactly.
At least.
That's all that's the bar they got to surpass. So.
Right. Like, because there's no way you're going to pass one. Just like I said, everything, not just the writing stuff, but the acting. All
no, they know that.
That's one of those things where I really watch it and go, God damn, everybody down to like an extra in the background is pulling overtime.
Perfect.
It's fucking great.
Yeah.
Hard to stomach the new generation Celtics. Like, man, no, I can't watch basketball anymore because I'm like, when did we stop playing defense?
Boring. Yeah.
It is boring.
And they all travel.
Right. No, and that's what I mean. I'm just like, I know the game changes as time goes on, but it still, there's fundamentals here. And it's
no, I'm with you.
Shots. You don't. The last time I watched an NBA game, somebody shot a foul shot, which you don't do foul shots. Free throws win games. Very important. Whether it's the pop shot or game, you make your free throws. But I watched them shoot, and it bounced off the rim and hit the floor. Nobody even rebounded. And I was like, my mom would have tore me off the floor. She would have torn me off the floor if I didn't box out in a 10.
Your mom would have been on the floor probably beating your ass.
CPS came one time because she went nuts on Elaine, like, while she was walking into a locker room. And we were like, oh, no, we're fine.
And Elaine's like, and you're like, no,
the family thing you do when your family's doing fucked up shit in public and you're just like, no, we're fine. And we're like, especially the lady thing, we're like, oh, no, don't look at us.
You're good.
It's not happening. Yes, fundamentals are lacking. I get draining a 3 in somebody's face and letting it linger. All there for that. Shove it in their face.
Yeah.
But naturally, you should shoot and take at least a step or like move and go towards your shot. That's a natural thing. And nobody does nothing anymore. We have no defense. It's not fun to watch. The score goes up to 120. It's a snooze fest. It is what it is. But I mean, like, I am sad about I did like this. I'm
happy. I think it ended great.
And this was just our walk. We just watched it with you guys and hopped on here.
Yeah.
That's it. So I'm
like, and we've gone for 2 hours.
We're chasing shit. Like I said, I don't know how to take that.
Yeah, I don't know. Thank you guys.
Appreciate that shit. Like anything. I don't care if somebody gives a penny. Like, that's really fucking nice to do.
Yeah.
That's really nice to do. And I've been having so much fun doing this with you, Nicole. And so I would cover for you if we murdered somebody who deserved it.
Same.
Got your back. Cover for you if they didn't deserve it. But I'm not, but
we don't need to get into that.
Yeah, and you're a good friend, and having friends matters, Joey, right? Having friends matters. Friends are important.
Friends are
family's one thing, and having your mom, like, that's really important stuff. But having somebody that isn't your blood, is in your life by choice, and still cares, it's like, that's
right.
Special.
Your family doesn't get to pick you, but your friends do.
Facts. That's true. Exactly. That should be hanging in somebody's living room.
Yeah, like, you don't get to pick your family. You're stuck with them, assholes, unfortunately. But your friends. Yeah.
Come on. No.
But yeah, no, it is about to be my bedtime. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I know. I was gonna say we went for 2 hours again. Thank you guys so much.
I didn't even notice.
Thank you guys for stopping by at all. Like,
yeah, thanks, guys.
And I still got to do my review. If you want to come and do my review with me, like, you are more than welcome. Like, we're
doing it tomorrow.
And like, I mean, I play a little loose with it, but no, it should be up by tomorrow. I definitely want it. When I really care like this. And stuff I'm like, no, it's got to get out. So
you gotta get it.
I probably will do it tomorrow. I might do part of it tonight, but I want to rewatch it,
Either way.
And I want to hear if anybody said anything about a cabin.
Yes.
Lawrence, you're the best, man. You've been here. I don't know why you tolerate me either. I'm like, there are some people that
know why Joey deals with us.
Joey deals with us?
We know why Joey deals with us.
Well, we love Joey.
Yeah.
Because you love your friends. That's what
yes.
I say this all the time. That's what friends do. As long as your friend's not actively screwing you over or hurting you, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Vicky. Thank everybody. Like, seriously, thank you guys for being here. Like,
I had a great night with you guys.
Nicole, how many times did I say nobody's going to watch? Don't feel bad. I just want it for the recording.
I thought we'd get 2 views. I thought it'd be like my mom.
Right. And my mom. My mom was arguing my mom pretends she's not my mom in the comments. I'm sure you can find who she is. Like, she doesn't do this all, but like, she like started, I could tell a comment really bugged her, and she was like, somebody already responded and was like, dude, you're being mean for no reason. And then my mom was like, you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, this person better not say nothing crazy to my mom, because I'm just going to be aggressive.
Then we're going off.
I was just like, I had to tell her, like, Mom, and it's the sweetest thing. Anytime I see it, I'm like, can we change your name on here? Because someone's going to put it together. Someone's going to figure it out. It's not that confusing, but no, I liked this season. And then, like I said, maybe I am being a little biased, and I don't care. And then I'm like, maybe it's because but no, I think this is very, very good. I really do. I think
I enjoyed it.
Or I think it goes 1, 4, 3, 2.
3, 2. Yep.
I wouldn't even put 2 in the same caliber of show as 4 and 1.
2 is like a CSI.
Is that a hot take?
No, 2 is like CSI level of like.
I feel like we got real jonesed up on season 1 that it was like, man, we fucking got this, and I'm like, no, it's good, but
and then they came in with 2, and you were like,
well, it's like Star Wars, like
what?
talking in senates for too long, like the minutia shit. We don't care. Get to the crazy shit. The more you're like the ordinance here in the city here, and they're corrupt in the state, but I work for the feds and I work over here, and I'm like, the minutia of that is too much. That's where you get bored. I'm like, it's not Vince Vaughn talking with a New York accent. It's not Colin Farrell beating up bullies' parents on their front lawn, saying he's going to rape their mom's or rape their dad's body with their mom's skull or something. Crazy. We were on board for that.
We're okay with that.
It's the dilly-dallying in between of like, get to the shit. Like
come on.
But I feel like they were like, God damn, we did so good that we need to like amp it up with that shit. And I really think there was a misstep there. I do. And it's not to say that it's not good. It's better than any shit I could do. I might yell about this stuff, but
I'm not. It's just not what it could have been.
I say it all the time. I'm like, if I could make up the crazy shit that happens in my life, if I could make that up fictitiously, do you think I would be yelling on the internet about made up shit? I'm like, if my mind was that good, I wish I could, but
wouldn't it be?
Alas, I don't have like I never had a story strike me and write it down. Like that's a whole other talent, man. And
exactly.
I just appreciate that talent, and I really care about it. Oh my God, we love you, a random package. I really like that name. That's so funny.
I do too, just because my job is packaging, so I just think that's hilarious.
Dude, my sister redirecting the lady at Disney World. I brought it up to my mom. She's like, she's gonna get mad if you're talking about that. I was like, then she shouldn't have done it because it was the funniest shit.
She should have done it in public on a public camera somewhere.
But I know it's because we were hungry and hot. Nobody said a word. Nobody said a word. We were walking right off the Tower of Terror. There's like a parade going by, and Mom's doing, like I said, and we're like,
oh no, I know the mindless mom walk.
Is it a knee replacement? Like I said, when I shoved her, she turned around and her eyes changed. Like, what do you think you're doing, putting your hands on me? And I was like, no. And then I turned and I'm like, oh my God. And perfect manicured nails. She had a little castle on their thumb, and they were like, they were baby blue with a little white on them. I was like, oh my God, chucking this old lady.
So great.
Oh my God, thank you so much. And thank everybody for being here. I'm going to let Nicole go. I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to do my review. I don't know.
We'll be back.
Nicole's like not trying to do the online live, so I'm like, plug yourself. And then she's like, no, leave me alone. But I'm online yelling on every platform.
I'm coming up with something.
I don't even think I put it in the description on these, honestly.
I've been coming up with something to plug me on. Like, I'll do something. I'm just
here.
For right now, I'm just hanging on with Motor City Nerds and having fun.
To come back. What do you guys want us to watch? Because I'm rewatching The Wire because she's watching The Wire for the first time.
I'm watching The Wire, yep.
I mean, we got the Rick Grimes show coming, the Ricktatorship, here for that. But I mean, if there's anything you guys want me and Nicole to cover specifically to get her to stay. Yeah. Oh, shit. We are going to talk about the Idaho 4, though.
We are going to do Idaho 4, which I'm down to do tomorrow. So if you want to do that, we'll be back.
We're going to get into that. But that's just crazy. You want to talk about corruption? There's something crazy going on there. But and we're not saying people are innocent either, but we're saying
there's more to the story.
There's odd things going on there. Idaho's weird. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Yeah, hit the like. I don't know, guys. Battlestar. Oh,
I don't know anything you can do. We're just, like we said, we're just here. We're just having a good time.
I could just tell Disney World stories about my family all day. My mom yelling and complaining about palm trees because she still smoked it. No, did she? Yeah, did she still smoke it? Either way, she called the front desk eventually, snapping and saying like, "These trees do nothing. Why do you have them?" And I'm like, "Mom, they don't have the answers for that. Like,
they're not. They don't care. You're calling a 18-year-old at the front desk."
Well, Fortitude, Battlestar, and Severance. I need to check out whatever the Severance is, but I'm always watching Game of Thrones and yelling about shit. But yeah, no, I mean, with Motor City Nerds, this is Nicole. Thank you for being here. Thank you guys so much again. I don't know what to say because I'm just like, I really fucking appreciate this. And I liked this. And I'm going to stand on this. This shit was great. It was
a good, awesome. Great season.
And if you didn't like it, you didn't like it. That's okay. It's totally
your
fine.
opinion.
And this is the one place on the internet that you can come and go. As long as you're not being a gross bigot.
Why don't you be nice? Say it sucks.
If you're just being outright insulting, I'm going to say you're being a dick. But if you're like, I don't fucking like this shit, I'm going to be like, okay, that's why. There's shit I don't like either. It took me like 5 years to watch Interstellar. That's all I'm saying. Not Interstellar. What's the other one? Spinning Top.
Martian?
Right here. No, Inception.
Oh, Inception. Yeah.
I thought it was wild. It says it in it, but yeah, no, it took me years to watch Inception just because people were like, it's the greatest thing. And I'm like, is it? I'm going to refuse.
It's good, but it's not the greatest.
It's fine. But, okay, Fortitude, Severance, Battlestar Galactica. Oh, God, we're like The Office now. What is happening?
I know.